Hey, hey, hey. Get started in just a second here.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Fregberg.
Taco Bell for lunch, Frackberg? Good to see you, man, Frackberg. Oh, Taco Bell ads. I got you.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Builder.
Hey, Builder. Appreciate you being here early. Welcome in, welcome in. We're going to get started shortly. I just got to get some water. I'm going to run an ad at the beginning to push that back so we don't get any mid-roll ads and all that fun stuff.
An ad is about to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 180. Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Nafaran.
Frackberg, what do you mean? What was that in response to? Your no, still poor from unemployment. Hopefully next month will be more normal. I forget what I might have said to maybe prompt that. Sorry. But yeah, I hear you, man. What's up, Nafron? How's it going over there? You asked about Taco Bell for lunch. Oh, I got you. All right, I got nothing against Taco Bell, really. I used to eat the heck out of that all the time. I've tried to veer away from fast food as much as I used to. Just because of like the quality of the food and stuff like that, right? In terms of like ingredients and like for your health. Otherwise, I would totally still chow down on that stuff. Still tastes great. but also my stomach too. I think my stomach has gotten stronger since I've been eating more. I don't want to say necessarily healthy, but like more. Yes, a little bit more healthy, obviously, than when I was younger, but more whole, more like just natural. You know what I mean? Not, and I don't even mean like organic. I mean just like instead of processed foods and stuff that just has genetically modified organisms or whatnot. I've been trying my best to. I mean, I still do. I'm trying to minimize the amount of my entire weekly diet to be a small percentage of that stuff and a higher percentage of just typical fruits, vegetables, meats, that type of thing. Anyway, how did I get on this? Happy Friday, Nafron, everyone who celebrates Fridays. I celebrate every day. May, what's up? 3 stream streak. Appreciate that. Erwin with the follow from 7 days ago off stream, I think it was. Thank you for that. Builder says, I found an API that lists your shorts. Went to post in Discord and saw you found a different way as well. Well, I'm curious to hear your way, Builder. That sounds awesome. I'm down, because my way is kind of it's not hacky, but it just seems like an unconventional way. Like it's a hidden feature of YouTube that someone discovered on Stack Overflow. We'll get into it. All right. Without further ado, it's time for the dance. Welcome in, everybody. Happy to have you here. You're in for the early bird special, where you get to see me make a fool of myself. Cutting between different camera angles. Dancing in my chair. My dad moves. And it goes a little something like this. Hi. Start your Friday off right. Song's Waves by Weymouth.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Minimart.
What's up, A Mile a Night? You're here for the early bird special. Claps in chat. Awkward stairs. Eyebrow dance. Incoming. No more face tracking and change cameras. Yes, kinda. I just don't feel like spinning it up every time I start the stream, you know? That's kind of where it's at. Lazy at developer. I can't imagine. Woo! All right. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome in. Happy to have you all here. Thank you for joining in early.
Joining today, Clark here.
Oh, I'm happy to be here too. The bot loves congratulating me for being here at my own stream. Thank you for being here for the early bird special, watching me make a fool of myself doing the intro dance. It is I, your host, Clarkio. And you're watching the Clarkio Shenanigans Show every Friday right here on twitch.tv/Clarkio or youtube.com/Clarkio. Wherever you're watching, drop a follow, like this stream on YouTube, and whatnot. Oh, I forgot I'm like slanted over to the side here because I used to have the list of what we're going to do. I forgot about... I just closed that tab too. Whatever. We don't need it. We don't need it. The best stream of the known universe. Thank you, Nafron. That's very kind. I don't know about that. I think some would beg to differ, but I appreciate that. If you feel that way, that makes me happy, and I'm just going to keep doing my thing so that you continue to feel that way. Okay? Yes, get your wins of the week queued up. If you're new here and you're not used to how the flow of the stream goes, we start off just chatting like this, talk about things that are happening, wins of the week. If you don't know what that's about, you can type in the command !WOTW in the chat to learn more. Would love to hear your successes, the things that went well this week for you. It's an exercise we go through every week to keep a good positive mindset. Then from there we get into a Wordle and connections, and maybe a little bit of words on stream because I'm generally eating lunch around then. And then we get into the technical segment of the show, which for the past 2 streams and now 3 streams counting this one, we are looking into AI and how it can maybe solve the classic developer meme. One of the classic developer memes, which is you do something manually, repetitively, that takes about a short period of time. The one that I have that's a concrete example takes me about, I actually timed it off stream on this past Monday. It takes me like 15 minutes, give or take a few minutes. And then you're like, I can automate this with code, and that takes you like 10 hours or whatever, an exorbitant amount of time compared to the time it takes you to just do it manually every time. And so the idea is like, are you really getting a return on your investment as a programmer? And that's what the meme's about. It's a joke. But I think AI can accelerate that. And we've shown, at least in the first stream, that it can, given that the task is simple enough and you're not dealing with the YouTube API. Now, I am determined to still push through and get it to be more exact to what I need for this report example that I've been working through. And off stream, last stream where we left off, is that we're trying to figure out how to get a list of the total number of standard videos on a YouTube channel versus shorts or live streams. And there was quite a bit of frustration. And if you like seeing people rage quit, I mean, it didn't really get to that point, but if you like to see people rage quit, go ahead and tune into and turn on the last stream recording over on youtube.com/Clarkio and skip ahead to towards the end of the stream, and you'll see just what happens. But the funny thing is, shortly right after that, I was like, that evening or on Saturday, I was like, I was really determined to tinker more, and found one answer. But it sounds like Build a Builder mentioned that they found another potential solution too. So we're going to dive into that for the technical portion of the stream today. If that interests you, any of that, I hope you stick around and hang out. If not, totally understand. Use your time wisely. Have a good rest of your Friday, and maybe we'll see you in the next stream. So let's get into it. Wins of the week. What do you all got? What's happening? Drop them in the chat. I see Frackberg's in there. Let's see if we can get a Nafron now too. Let's get a couple more queued up while I'm waiting for folks to share that. And no pressure, like, you know, but the idea is just find something. It doesn't have to be big or small, just something that you can look back on, reflect on the past week. What's something positive that happened to you? That could be a win. And feel free to share in the chat. So there you have it. All right, so my wins of the week. I went on a date night with the wifey. That was nice. We had a good time going to a new restaurant that we've never been before. What else? Kids are happy and healthy. I'm always going to call that out every stream. I know I sound like a broken record, but and I'm going to continue to say this where like people understand why I keep saying it, but like when you can go periods of time where your kids aren't getting sick and you're not getting sick from them, it's a blessing. So I'll take that win as well. Plus just them they're starting school, getting into the old routine again. Everything's going smooth with that right now. So I want to take a moment to appreciate that. And so that's why I call it out each time, because there are definitely times where it's not like there was periods of time. And in fact, many of you that are frequent flyers here on the stream probably recall, I think it was was it earlier this year? I think it was early this year, or maybe it was last year. I remember from January to like June, I was sick every month because of the kids getting sick every month type of thing. So anyway, I think it was last year, not this year. In any case, I'm very grateful for that. Work's going good. Work, getting a lot of visibility into the videos internally with like senior leadership, executive levels too. So I'm excited about. I'm excited and nervous about that a little bit because it's like it's a good thing, but it's also a little nerve wracking because now people, like a lot of people looking at your work, So anyway, I'm just gonna keep my head down, chugging away, working on some videos. Speaking of that, those of you that are into the cybersecurity world, and like know some of the big names in that space, we work with, we being Sneak, work with a lot of them. And well, actually, before I get into that, one shout out to my company Sneak, who makes it possible. They don't sponsor the stream or anything like that, but I just want to say that they give me the freedom to be able to keep streaming on my own channel on Friday. So shout out to my leadership for that. Shout out to Sneak. I love working here, and if you see openings, I highly recommend applying and trying it out. Or if you haven't checked out Sneak to use, I highly recommend that. Even though I work there, I've been using it since before I worked there. So, okay, cool. But also, everything that you see me talking about is not on behalf of my employer. It is my personal opinions and thoughts and processes like that. So keep that in mind as well as a little disclaimer. Okay, that said, through work, I've been getting to connect with these big name cybersecurity people in the industry. And we just did and I've shared with you all that we've been working on YouTube videos. If you go to youtube.com/sneak, you'll be able to see my ugly mug there. If you like to see more content from me more frequently outside of the live streams, that's the best place to see it on the Sneak YouTube channel. I dropped the link in the chat over on Twitch, and should have gone to YouTube. No YouTube broadcasts are currently monitored. StreamerBot, you used to work. What happened? Maybe I need to sign in again. If you're watching over on YouTube, I apologize. Oh wait, signed in without me having to go through the flow. Why isn't it picking up my broadcasts?
Matty_Tucci says I am unable to speak in your channel as Twitch's shadow banned me. Just wanted to say hello.
What's going on, Matty Two Shoes? Why has Twitch shadow banned you? Is it like specific to my stream or across the platform, dude? I have YouTube open and watching, just have it muted. Oh, thank you, May. Appreciate that. A mile and I you've been here. You didn't hear me go through that? What am I up to today? The usual stuff, pretty much. So I think you tuned in last stream. We're going to continue picking up.
Matty_Tucci says across the entire platform, think I created one too many out accounts.
Oh my gosh. Well, sorry to hear that, Matty Two Shoes, and thank you for being here, buddy. Appreciate you. Hopefully that gets resolved. Oh, you went to grab food? All right, I'm out night. Yeah, so the short of it is the usual flow, like just chatting a little bit this wins of the week right now, which I'm talking through right now. And then getting into the usual, the AI stuff, solving the meme type of thing, which I think you tuned into last stream for. So we're picking up where we left off from last stream. That's essentially it right there. Hopefully that helps answer your question. All right, I'm trying to manually drop the link in the YouTube streams. All right, now that I got that out of the way. So yeah, you could check out the Sneak channel to see my ugly mug. I have an AI series going on there where it's the idea or the premise is, hey, can I use AI to help me build out this app quickly and securely? Because if it doesn't, I'm going to be fired type of thing, right? It's like a contrived scenario, but the idea is to make it a little bit interesting of like, oh, wow, how could AI almost get this guy fired, right? And I try out different AI coding tools, coding assistants, and the output from them, and then look and see if there's any vulnerabilities in them. So you can check that out. That's what I've been having fun with. We should have a part 3 coming up on Monday, given it passes internal review and stuff like that. And then from there, as I was talking about, the following Monday I have an interview talking about AI in cybersecurity and security research space. That was really fun to do, super insightful, and it's with quite a big name in the cybersecurity space, like a big name YouTuber, live streamer, even on Twitch. I've seen him live streaming on here. That's how I first learned of him. But anyway, super cool. Really excited about that. Work's going good. That's another win of the week for yours truly that I'm sharing with you all. What else do I have going on in that regard? We have DevSecCon 24 coming up for Sneak. If you haven't checked that out, it's going to be a virtual event. Let me get the link for everybody. I don't have it handy, so I'm picking it up. It's coming up October 8th and 9th. Here's the link I'm going to drop in the chat for you all too, so you can check it out. And my involvement there, at least as of right now, was helping get people to submit talks to it and then review and evaluate talks, which I'm going to talk about that a little bit too. I want to like kind of almost semi-record a quick little segment here at the beginning of the stream talking about my advice to people that are submitting talks, because I have a lot of experience doing that, both submitting talks and reviewing talks, and I think I could provide some good value to folks that are looking to do that, whether you're doing it for the first time or you've done it before and you're just finding yourself getting rejected quite a bit. Maybe this will help you, that type of thing. So that is the plan, friends. With that, where did my chat go? Over here. Paste that in. So there's the link to DevSecCon events. That one. And that one over on YouTube. Okay. So yeah, I've been excited about that, and I wrote down some tips and advice as I was going through talks, and yeah, there we go. All right, so let me catch up on your wins of the week though before I get into the weeds of that. Frackberg was the first one I think I saw. Frackberg says, win of the week, solved my first ticket by myself at work yesterday. That's awesome to hear, Frackberg. Congrats on that. And thank you for sharing. Round of applause. The next up, I see Nafron. Nafron says, win of the week, did the seasonal big cleanup of my place. It feels refreshing. That's awesome to hear. Congrats on that. And thank you for sharing as well. Love to see it. Love to see it. There is something about having like a clean workspace, clean area that just like, it just really does remove a lot of mental load. It's wild. It's wild how that works. And everybody's tolerance for like messiness is different. My office is pretty messy right now, honestly. I mean, you can see it like when you look in my camera. If I switch back here and go to like the GoPro, you can see there's a ton of stuff going on here. There's a bunch of wires over there. I got this camera. Behind this is like a paper, behind the shirt is a paper shredder, and then on the floor is a bunch of hats. What else we got? If I switch back over here, then a bunch of stuff just sitting on the desk here that I barely ever touch. Stuff like that going on. Oops, didn't mean to go there. There we go. So I feel that, Nafron, and props to you for getting your seasonal cleanup of your place done. Frackber says, speaking of rage quit, I've got a 50-kilometer ride tomorrow. Oh, 80-kilometer ride tomorrow. Oh boy. Gonna try to hang with some of my faster friends until I can't. Nice, Frackberg. That's gonna be good. Nafron saying 100% recommend Sneak as a user, not sponsored. Love that. Fragberg, you mind if I share that like internally? Would love to share that if you have no issue with it. Took a little screenshot. Who's tagging me? Oh, Build a Builder. Okay, I'll check that. I Build a Builder. I see your Discord message, by the way. I'll check that out. Thank you for tagging me and sharing it in there. All good down front? Okay, cool. All right, I saved it and sent it to my work laptop. Frackberg says, keeping in mind to judge Sneak based on Clarkio personal views. That's exact opposite of what I said. Frackberg. May says, I have YouTube open. Thank you. And watching that. Oh, yeah, I read that already. Mile Knight says, yeah, it's a pretty cool idea. Okay, cool. Glad to hear. Mile Knight's win of the week is that they built a license plate recognition script in Python to auto detect and parse plates in real time. Well, that's super interesting. I hope well, like for what purpose though? You know what I mean? I guess that's like public, right? You're out in public and your license plate's on there. It's an interesting project nonetheless. Let me put it that way. So congrats on that, getting that working, and thank you for sharing the Mile Knight. Mile and I added, I used the IYAC stack. I used the IYAC stack. IYAC. No, I've not heard of it. What's that about? IYAC. I can't even guess what the acronym's for. Frackberg says, my tolerance for clutter is lower than the actual amount of clutter on my desk. There's that too. The Indian YouTuber and Chat GPT stack? Oh, really? I had not heard that before, but I like it. I like it. Very, very fun. You ever get those like this is gonna be kind of gross, I guess. It's not gross. Everybody does it. Eye gooks though. Just starts itching your like the inner crevice of your eye. So there's that. Build a Builder says, I consider finding an API solution and defeating Rage Quit a win of the week. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Congrats on that win of the week, Build a Builder. Thank you for looking into it further too. I appreciate you taking the time to look into that further as well on your own. It must have, see, that shows me though that like the type of like problem we're trying to solve is interesting to folks, so much so that you went and took time out of your day that you're like, I want to dig into this too. You know, that's cool. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you. And when we get into it, I'm gonna look forward to trying out what you found. And I need to update everybody what I found. If you're not in the Discord, speaking of, you can use !Discord to get the link, or just go straight to clarkio.com/Discord like that. Hey, Clarkio bot, good to have you here. Because I keep in touch with folks off stream there. So if you want to stay in touch, hear about things that I'm doing off stream, that sort of thing, play Wordle, it's the best place to do it. Although I've been more active on my socials now too. So if you want the socials as well, !Socials. All right, that out of the way. What else did I miss in chat here? Build a Builder says, when my mind gets stuck on a problem, it won't let it go. I feel that to the 100th degree. Although I've been better about like, I was just talking with my buddy Danish. Shout out to Danish, those of you who probably seen him pop in here from time to time in the chat and stuff like that. And we used to stream together, that type of thing. He's a developer that I met on Instagram. And I was talking with him about how... Oh no, I wasn't talking with him. Who was I talking with?
And thanks for joining today, Todd Libby.
Hey Todd Libby, good to hear from you. Thank you for joining. What's your win of the week, Todd Libby, if you got one to share? Was I talking to Niche? Who was I talking to? Oh no, I was talking to my boss in a one-on-one. We were talking about like struggling to get to sleep at night. And one of the things I found that was a pattern that was causing me to not be able to get to sleep at night is if I were to like close to when I want to go to bed, if I think about any programming related stuff or watch something that's programming related to some degree, then my mind will just race on that and not be able to go to sleep. So I avoid it as much as possible, and that's helped me out significantly after a certain period, like 10 o'clock at night or something like that, you know? So there is that. That because of just what you shared, Build a Builder in chat, by the way, on Twitch. Mylon says, also my project is for totally legit purposes only. Okay, fair enough. The license plate project we're talking about, right? I don't know why this is, again, StreamerBot like had an update, and I feel like it like had like all these nice features, but then it seems like there's a bunch of bugs now and like regressions from it. Because now it's not updating. Oh, there it goes. Now it finally updated my Twitch chat on here. Like I have Twitch chat in 2 different locations so that just in case as a backup, you know. Todd Louis says, when you get as old as I have, mine gets stuck and then I forget why. Fair enough, fair enough. Todd Louis win of the week. Assisted a few people with accessibility, and they are now practicing Ally from the start of their projects, not halfway through or at the end after shipping code. Very nice. Congrats on that. That's awesome to hear. Big win. Thank you for sharing, Todd Libby. Crackbrick says, LOL, after 10 p.m. Look at this young guy humble bragging about staying up late. I mean, I still... Why? Wait, why? You're saying because when you get older, you can't stay up late anymore? Is that what you're trying to tell me, Frackberg? I don't know. Frackberg, were you previously a night owl? And you're telling me you can't stay up late anymore? Is that what's going on right now? Because I'm a night owl. And I don't foresee myself not being able to stay up late. There was one night where I was like so sleep deprived that I ended up passing out at like 8, 9 o'clock this week. And that felt good. Frackberg says, no, I'm joking that I'm old and go to bed at 9 p.m. Oh, yeah. No, I mean, you do you, man. I'm envious of people that do that, honestly. I wouldn't mind getting up earlier if my body would naturally just like start to rest at night earlier. The problem is I struggle to get to wind down because, well, it's one of those, especially as a parent. Have you heard of this thing called revenge sleep procrastination? That's part of what I think is like eating into me. Although I'm getting better about it, but it used to be worse, like more recently after having kids that this was happening. But basically, it's like you feel like you don't have a lot of time for your time that you used to have to yourself. You don't have as much of it, and so what you do is you stay up later to gain that time back. But the reality is you're cutting out time from your sleep, and then you wake up with less sleep, feeling like crap, and it's this vicious cycle type of thing, right? But I've gotten better. Like recognizing it is the first step in Revenge Sleep Procrastination Anonymous. Recognizing the problem and acknowledging it, naming it, and then addressing it, right, is the second step. So there's that. Frankfurt.
Thanks for joining today, Marcus Voice Code.
Welcome in, Marcus. I'll get to you in a second there. That sounds awesome, though. Frackberg says, I used to be a night owl, but years of 5 a.m. wake-ups ruined my ability to stay up late. Yep. Todd Libby says, same. I'm up at 4 a.m. now, no matter what. No matter how much I don't want to be. Amanda says, the other day I was trying to finish a challenge to try and get a job. Didn't sleep for an entire night, and then I started getting heart palpitation. Yeah, you gotta take care of yourself there. Builder Builder says, I go to bed at about midnight and get up at 4. How? How do you function? You're only getting about a little over 4 hours of sleep, maybe 5. Waking up at 4:45, going to bed at midnight. How do you function, Builder Builder? All right, I'm up to Marcus's message, which is a win of the week. Made 60 this week. That's awesome to hear. Congrats on that, Marcus, and thank you for sharing. That's a big milestone. Hope you have some fun, Marcus, or had some fun as part of celebrating that. Mile Knight says, never doing that stuff ever again. Yeah. You should avoid it. Avoid staying up all night. Frackberg says, I do not enjoy being up at 5 a.m. I'm never happy about it. You know, I feel like I'm hearing the same dang songs over and over again. I should have caught it and not renewed my subscription to Pretzel Rocks. I like them, but I don't. What should we listen to? I like the reggae songs that they have on there and ska, but they don't.
Underscore two shoes says my wotw is that I finally managed to make our developers understand that database changes must be communicated to the data team in advance.
That's awesome to hear. Congrats on that, Matty Two Shoes. Appreciate you sharing it in any way that you can, buddy. Thank you for sharing too. So yeah, but like for whatever reason, Pretzel Rocks, like even though it says like that playlist, where is it? That playlist says it has 3 hours worth and 76 tracks of music, and it must be just because I'm saying instrumental only. It's like cuts it down to like nothing, to like 4 or 5. You know, that's kind of wild. And then the funny thing is, like I say, instrumental only, but then there's songs like this that you can hear. There is some vocals in it, and not just instrumentals. So that's things like that are a little like frustrating about it. Anyway, I digress. Build a Builder, in regards to going to bed at midnight and waking up at 4:45, just been normal for me, even on weekends. Even worse when I drink the night before. I just don't sleep much. Yeah. Well, I've been cutting back on all that.
Took 1.5 years, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, as long as it's working now, right? And they keep it consistent. Matty Two Shoes. Talking to them first before making changes, right? I feel that though. So in regards to Build a Builder's message about drinking at night, I found that I snore more if I drink. Like even if I just have a drink with like, because let me give you an idea of like the not necessarily habit, just the pattern that I would have throughout the week, whether it's a weekday or weekend. I would have like a weekend probably be a little bit more where I would have a beer or two, but like during the week at night, I'd have a beer around dinner, or I would have, I think I've shared this on stream before too. Like I mostly only drink water and coffee, and then like it would be beer or drink. And so what I would do by the end of the day, I would just want something with like a little bit of flavor, and I would really just use like the alcohol as an excuse to have like ginger ale. Like I would have some like Jameson and ginger ale or something like that, and or gin and tonic, just to, like an excuse to have some type of carbonated drink with some flavor in it. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? I can just cut out the alcohol and then have, you know, some of those carbonated flavored drinks, like the ones that just like they're essentially water with carbonation and then have like the zest of like a lime or something in it, and that's been fine. So anyway, the point I'm getting at is I've cut back, and then I knew that if I would drink, that I would snore more heavily in the evenings and overnight. And my wife's a light sleeper, and she'd be like, "Oh, you were snoring so bad last night, keeping me up." And I'm like, "So sorry." It's helped out a lot for me. I mean, I'm still snoring, just not as heavily now. So there's that. Anyway, you got your message, Build a Builder, got me thinking about that with the drinking. I've been cutting back significantly. The most I've had since like mid-July is like I've had a glass of wine, like one night. And then just like I mentioned to you all, one of my wins of the week was I went out on a date with my wife this week, and I had a glass. Actually, I had a mixed drink. I had an old fashioned for that. So, but that's it. I feel good about that. I'm just trying to cut back. Not that I'm like against it, but I used to do it like a lot to, especially social situations. I'm trying to like resist doing that as much. Marcus says the choice for me is either light in bed bored or get up really early. Oh, like lay in bed bored, you mean? Yeah, I mean, I definitely understand that. Yeah, late. I got you. I caught up there. And then again, StreamerBot chat app is not working as good, so I'm checking down here, and I see a lot of messages. Oh, it finally updated. Todd Libby says, time for me to get moving. Catch you later, Clark. You have a great stream. Thank you, Todd Libby. Appreciate you popping in, buddy, and sharing your win of the week. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. Frackberg, I finally broke my no adult beverages streak over the weekend. I've lost all my tolerance. Oh, yeah? Yeah, I can definitely see that happening if you go for a while. Marcus Voice Course says, I've discovered one plus side of being 60. I don't have to pay for sleeping pills anymore. Oh, yeah? It like, you just more naturally feel tired? That's good. Build a Builder says, my wife says I only snore when I drink. Yeah, see? Surly Dev, good to see you. Welcome in, by the way. I don't snore. I just dream I'm a motorcycle. You're funny. You're funny. Build a Builder says, I probably don't sleep a lot because my wife snores. Oh. There's that. So the two of you are fighting and competing on who's going to be the louder snorer? Is that what I'm hearing? Surly Dev says, I'm enjoying a hot toddy at the moment because I'm feeling run down. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Like I said, I'm not against, anybody drinking whatever they're going to drink. Just personally trying to cut back a little bit. All right. On that note, we're all caught up on wins of the week. I think I'll save my little spiel / recording advice on submitting talks to right before the technical segment. So we're going to jump into Wordle and connections for today. All right, chat. And if you're new here and you've not seen what's going on with this or what I'm talking about here, Wordle is a word game where I got to guess the word in 6 or less guesses, but we compete. I compete against you all, chat. And the way that happens is if I get it in 3 or less guesses, I get a point. If it takes me more than that, you get a point. And if I fail completely, you get 3 points. And as of last stream,
Matty _2 says Wordle 1161 correct.
Wordle 1161 correct. I don't. Whatever one is today, yeah. So if that's what it is, then yes, that sounds correct. So as of last stream, you all went up by a point. So what I need to do is I need to bring it back and tie it up again, as you can see here. Okay. So that's what's at stake right now, chat. So here we go. I always guess with farts. Then I'm going to guess with... I usually guess with like mound or pound to get like the OU in there, but I want to change it up a bit this week. I'm going to go with height. So we get the 2 other vowels in there. Y and E. Okay, all right, so we got H and E now. And I got to get it on this guess, otherwise I don't get a point and catch up. Cheer? No, there's no R. It's got to be a CH something, right? Leech? Oh man, this is going to be tough. Anybody want to give me a hint? Build a Builder says I collect bourbons and whiskey, so I do like to have a nightcap or two sometimes. I'm with you on that, in the sense of like I can understand it. I used to, in a similar way, I used to get really into craft beer and collect like the 350 milliliter bottles and like go to beer shares and everybody would like taste, they would share around the beers and everybody have like little taster cups so that you can try out different rare beers and that type of thing. In fact, I have some of the rarest bottles up on like this little sill in the office here, like King Henry, Eddie Topper, Pliny the Elder, that type of thing. And then I always blank on the name because it's not on the bottle, but it's the one where you have to go like to where the monks are in Europe. And you get like the it's Westvelteren or something like that. It's like one of the rarest beers to get. A buddy of mine had like went and visited and brought a bottle back and gave me one. I was very grateful for that, and that tasted great too. But so yeah, my point being is I used to be really into that, and now I got tired of chasing rare beers. Like it was just exhausting and kind of like silly. I came to the conclusion it's fun, but it also can be exhausting and silly. And it's like people that I was like that was into that with me would get like kind of, I don't know, competitive about it or whatnot. Not even competitive about it. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying there. In any case, I just lost like the desire or interest in it. And then on top of that, as I've gotten older, when I have a beer, I feel way more sluggish. What's up? It's Schmerple. Thanks, JT. I've gotten way like the impacts or the effects of a beer on me, and not in the sense of like, oh, I'm like loopy, because I'm talking like just one beer, maybe two beers. I feel so sluggish and tired, like I just want to pass out. And I'm like, I don't want to feel that way, especially with kids. You know what I mean? I don't want to have a beer and then my kids want to play and I'm like, I'm too tired, you know, just because I decided to have a beer, you know? So that's partly why I've been cutting that out too. And so then I switched to like cocktails because that doesn't make me feel sluggish. But then, you know, I already talked about the whole snoring and stuff like that, because that the cocktails even have a more, or mixed drinks have a more of an impact on my snoring than even beer does. So anyway, I digress. Catching up a little bit. Frackbrick says, LOL, I bought my wife a fountain pen for her birthday. She has increased her collection to 3 pens currently and just shamefully admitted to buying 2 more pens and a bunch of new ink. Nice. That's cool. The answer is Clarkio. Oh, thanks for the help there. I'm sure they really know about me at the Wordle headquarters. So this is, do you log your beers on Beer Facebook, aka Untapped? Is that what I never heard it called Beer Facebook. I used to. Yeah, I was up to, I don't have the app anymore, but I was up to like several thousand unique beers on there. I don't think I ever made it to double-digit thousands. I probably, if I would have kept doing it from that time until now, I would have made it to double-digit thousands, but yeah. There's one guy on there that that was like a legend. Like when, I mean, I was one of the early adopters of that app, actually. I have a I believe I still have a 3-letter username on there, if I recall correctly. I had signed up when it first started, then logged like Budweiser, Bud, and stuff like that, because I was like, oh, this seems like an interesting idea. And then stopped, because I didn't really, at that time when I signed up, I didn't really know about craft beer that much. And then through coworkers and friends, I got into craft beer, and they were like, oh, are you on Untapped? And I'm like, oh, that app? Yeah, I have that app. And so then, yeah, that's a funny way to put it, Beer Facebook. So yes, but I don't recall, I haven't opened that up in years. Builder Builder says, I was drinking Heady Topper last night on stream. Nice. I love that. It is a good beer. It's hard to get. You know, across the country or whatnot. I've gone to Russian River. That was one of my highlights. I got King Henry through a beer trade with with a beer bar up in New York. Yeah, you got me reminiscent of like all this stuff now. Builder Builder. Frackberg says, I feel like I need to send you some of my local microbrews. I mean, I'd be down. Actually, so here's the other thing. I have a fridge in my garage that was like, it's always been like our extra fridge to hold like an extra freezer in it. But I mainly got it at that point in time. I mainly used it. So it was like the original fridge that came with our house when we moved into it. And then we had gotten a new house that fit the space better. And so I've had it for so long, this fridge in the garage. And then I was using it as a beer fridge for all these big bottles of beer when I was doing these beer shares and stuff like that. Or going to these beer shares. And I still have probably a dozen bottles of beer that are getting really old now. That are these big, you know, what are they? The 750. I'm saying 350 milliliter. I think there's 750 milliliter bottles of like fairly rare beers that I was like planning to just like hold on and then bring to a beer share. What's up, Rugmat? Bring to a beer share. But then I slowly got out of that scene, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I'm not gonna drink this big ass bottle myself. you know, especially now where I'm like, even like a small cup of it is going to make me so sluggish and tired. I don't want to do that. So I'm like, I'm wondering, I mean, it's been sealed and it stayed in a dark, cold place all these years. So I imagine it'll be in okay condition, but maybe some of you all would know better than me. Actually, I should ask my brother-in-law who brews beer what he thinks. But yeah, I don't know how good those things are going to be, but some people might want them. It might be good money. Like some people might pay good money for these bottles that I have. Beers don't last long, drink them. I mean, yes and no. There's some beers that are intentionally aged, Surly Dev. And that's why I mean, not aged this long probably, but they're aged for like years. Only stouts can really survive that long. IPA, yeah, that's all I'm talking about. It's all stouts. All stouts or porters, dark beers. They're like motor oil. Like barrel aged. Bourbon barrel aged or whatnot. One of my favorite beers of all time is from Cigar City. Like my favorite like regular beers from all time is from Cigar City. It's called White Oak Highlight. So it's their IPA, which I've kind of fallen out of liking IPAs so much. When I was deep into the like craft beer scene, I was definitely one of those people. But I've fallen out of it to where like I don't know, I just like lost it. I still enjoy them, but I don't enjoy them as much as like just a regular ale or lager, or a pilsner even. But my favorite was, so it's an IPA. It's their Highlight is like their standard IPA, and then what they do is they like soak these white oak spirals in the beer. It's a white oak like wine or wine barrels or something like that, and it creates this like vanilla kind of taste, and it's so subtle, but it's so damn good. One of my favorite beers of all time. Just like favorite like regular beers, because it's kind of regular, like you can get it fairly easily with them, and sometimes they put them in like a variety pack. They have like Cigar City has a variety Highlight type of pack, and by Highlight I mean J-A-I, like the game, Jaialai. Anyway, I'm on this big beer tangent right now. Bill the Builder says chasing bourbon is a huge time sink. I bet. I can imagine. The word is Schmerble from JT. Frackberg says, when I lived in Atlanta, I really enjoyed the beer passport at Taco Mac. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that. I kind of missed that, but I really just don't drink much anymore. All the cycling has really reduced my desire to deal with the after effects beer. Yeah, for sure. That's part of it. Like it's just interesting how your mentality towards something like that changes as you age. You know? I find it super interesting recognizing the differences in like what I do based on what I used to do, what I do now. So, anyway. Build a Builder, I brought back a bunch of different tree houses, Trilliums, Heady Topper when I was in Boston vacation a month ago. Nice. Dude, I was in Boston like a month ago, back in July. We might have been there around the same time. It was like July, I want to say July 20 something it was. Anyway, that's funny. What a weird quinky dink. Beers don't last long, drink them. Ooh, Wordle, missed the dancing again. Yeah, no worries, Rugmat. Only stouts. White Highlight is good. Yes, Build a Builder. It's awesome to hear that you've had it too and like it. Marcus Voice Coder says 1 hour in the army in Cyprus, you could have 2 bottles of beer and take the empty bottles back and get another one for the bottles when you were there. That's pretty cool. That's a nice deal. Derm, is that how you spell it? Wait, what do you mean? Derm? Did I say derm? What do you mean? A mile a night. Builder Builder says we were there at the same time. Oh wow, that's funny. All right, all I'm doing right now is delaying whether I'm gonna get a point here, and you all are gonna beat me. No, like the Wordle guess. Oh.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today in Huggins 7278.
Huggins, you live there? I didn't realize that.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today. What is floppy?
I didn't realize that, Huggins. We could have organized a little meetup or something. I went and stopped by the Sneak offices while I was in Boston. Just outside of the city? Oh, man. Dang it. If I would have known, I would have totally hit you up. What is floppy? Hi, welcome in. I like your chill. Is it okay for me to say it on stream? Is it okay for you to say that I'm chill? Yeah, that's fine. Or what do you mean? What is floppy? What do you mean by is it okay to say it on stream? Can you elaborate? A Mile Knight says Clarky is the chillest streamer. I appreciate that, Mile Knight. Huggins, I think I was on a cruise while you were here, mid-July. Yeah, it was like mid to late July, I want to say. Like July. It was in the 20s, I remember. I just don't remember the specific dates. It was like 4 or 5 days in July. No, I appreciate that, What is Floppy, that you love the vibes. That's cool. Very kind of you. That's what I'm going for. People hang out. Be part of this fun community. I'm not looking to become this big time celebrity or anything like that. I just want to talk shop. Do fun coding projects. Bring value to you all within a fun environment. That's it. And if you want to support me, the best way to do that is in all the free ways that are there. Tuning into the stream, following, subscribing on YouTube, liking the video on YouTube. That type of stuff is great. And that's it. May says, you didn't stream July 19th and 26th. So I think it was the 26th is when I was there. Because around July 19th is when I was leaving to go up to that area. Interacting in the chat. Yes, a Mile Knight. Which is why you all see me reading messages, reading everybody's name. Two reasons why I read the names if you get annoyed. I know I've seen people like have negative reactions to streamers that read the messages and like the names. And I don't quite understand that. Like, I get that you can see the chat. Like, I guess I understand from the perspective of like, you're already in the chat and you see the messages already. So like, why am I reading it over again? But there's two reasons for that. One, like, even though you see it, like, you don't know what I'm reading just yet necessarily and who said what. It could be something from way back earlier in the chat because I haven't caught up yet. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. And then two, like, I don't put the chat on my screen. And actually there's three. I don't put the chat on my screen, so people that are watching the recording later are gonna be like, well, why would he say that? You know what I mean? Like, who's he responding to? That type of thing. And I don't put the chat on my screen because, not that I don't, like, those of you that are regulars here and like understand the vibe and like the rules are not going to do anything like this, but there's people that will come in and like do stupid stuff, and I don't want that embedded in my recording. So that's that. But the third one is I'm streaming to multiple platforms too that don't see all the chats across each platform, that type of thing. Not that I have a lot of interaction on these other platforms like I do on Twitch right now. So I want to make sure everybody's staying within the same context. If you don't like that, I mean, that's, that's all good. That's for you, but like, that's kind of wild if you don't like that so much that you're just like, I can't watch the stream. I don't know about that. I think there's other things that you can think of that you're like, I can't watch the stream. Like, this guy's talking too much. Sure, that's fair. Or this guy's doing things that I'm not interested in. Sure, that's fair. I always say it. Use your time wisely. If you're not getting value out of my stream in some form or fashion, don't waste your time on me. I would love to have you here, but I'm not going to try and force it. You know what I'm saying? There's people that I like as streamers, and a lot of time, not a lot, I don't want to say a lot. Well, there are often times where I'll tune in, I'll see what they're streaming, and I'm like, it's just not clicking for me what they're doing. I like them a lot, and I'll lurk, but I'm not going to actually like stay and listen and tune in because it's just not something of interest to me, or I'm busy and I got to work on something else at the time. You know what I mean? Like, so I get it. As while I produce and stream on here, I'm also a consumer and like follower and viewer on this, and I understand the patterns and habits, and I don't want you to waste your time. Anyway, I digress. I'll get off my soapbox. Again, still avoiding just losing this point in Wordle right now with just chatting. May says, you didn't stream. Yep, I did that. Interacting in the chat. Marcus says, I just watch you on mute. That's fair enough too. Speaking of that, Marcus, I need to take note of this really quick. A while back, I used to double check captions for lives. I used to have the plugin in OBS that automatically streamed it to the captions to Twitch.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today's Inner
What's up, Sean A? Good to see you, buddy. What's your win of the week if you got one to share? And since moving to this new PC, I have severely forgotten about the caption stuff that I need to put back in place. So thank you for bringing that up, that you watch on mute, Marcus. So Marcus, since you're watching on... Thank you, Sorely Dev. Marcus, since you're watching on muted, are captions being auto-generated? Is it possible? Yeah, it seems... Oh, wait, maybe am I still pushing captions? I need to double check on it. There used to be a plugin. I didn't think I had the plugin anymore. I don't know. Captions work. Okay. Yeah, I was just checking on my laptop here, and I see that it is showing that. Muy interesante. Okay. I was being facetious. I don't really do that. Oh, okay. I know some people do, though. May says, Twitch has captions. YouTube does not have captions. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to do that on YouTube. I've only ever done it on Twitch. Flashbang doesn't work anymore right now. Sorry, Dev. I need to add that. Did the slap work? I didn't notice. Dino Silva? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Feel free to correct me in the chat, but thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Welcome over on Twitch. Yeah, it did work, I guess. Frackberg says he's talking about me doing stupid stuff in his stream. What are you talking about? You're not doing... the stuff in chat. No, I'm not talking about that. That's why Clarkio never hangs out in my streams. Not interesting content. No, sir. I'm at least lurking, dude. It is interesting seeing you on these different courses.
So just do it. Make your dreams come true. Nothing is impossible. No, what are you waiting for? Do it. Just do it! Yes, you can!
Crackbug, you might be switching your virtual world app. That'd be cool. Down to check that out. There's a Twitch badge for on mute. That's true, Rugmat. I found it to be inconsistent, to be honest, because there's been times where it says people are watching it like on mute or without visuals or stuff like that, and I'm like, there's no way they're watching. There's no way they're doing that, because they're able to like react. Like if it's no visuals, how are they able to react to like something on screen that's not being like verbally described? May says Twitch has caption. I read that already. Okay. All right, I'm all caught up. All right, I made note of this for myself here. Let's get back to Wordle. All right. Do I want to go with Leech? What about Cheap? There's no P. Cheek? No, E doesn't go there. I want to guess Leech. I'm sending it. Eat it! Eat it, chat! Oh.
To keep it there for 15 minutes without pressing enter.
Thank you, Matty Two Shoes. No, not rigged, Build-A-Builder. Not rigged. Yeah! In your face, chat! We are tied up again. Oh, that feels good. What a great, lucky guess right there. Well, it's today, the 23rd. Save. Oh, man, that feels so good. All right, so now we're going to jump to the present, share the latest, paste it in, pipe, enter. Oh, nice job, Rugmat, getting in 3 today. I'm so happy right now. That was so good. I went from 2 letters. And I was even thinking about changing it up. I was like, cheek. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else. I'm like, let's just send it. Whatever. Boom. And double letters, double use of the letter E like that. I typically don't think that. That's partly why I went with it. Well deserved on that. Thank you, Build to Builder. Wait, was it farts? I was in another tab for work. No, it's never gonna be farts, you jokester, you. Rugmat says unfollowed. It says, Rugmat, you're watching with no audio right now. See? Is that true? Is that real? This is why I think Twitch is not. Boom goes the dynamite. Yes, JT. No, not real. I was just reading. Interesting. Yeah, it shows your badge in the chat for me. I don't know about for anybody else. Maybe the mods see it. But it shows it as no audio for you. That's why I say I don't trust it. I mean, now I am without audio. Oh, okay. Okay. Sean with the stream streak. 10 stream streak. Oh, that's what you did. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that 10 stream streak. Keep it going. May saying, oh my god, wow. Rigged Build-A-Builder. Yeah, rigged. Belch because farts. That would have been a good guess, but you tried throwing me off there. Maybe lip reading Marcus voice if somebody's watching. No, I'm saying like if somebody's watching without visual, because there's also a badge that's saying like people just listen and don't actually watch. I think you have to manually set the badge. Yeah, Sean, you're right. You see it, May? Yeah. Rugman says, I mean, it is not an automatic thing. Anyone can put the badge there and still listen to audio. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yep. There you go. A good example. That's why you can't necessarily trust it. All right, let's play Connections together, chat. Keep it moving. If you've never played this before, you'll get the gist as we go through it. But the idea is you got to find a connection between 4 words somehow. What's up, Roy Lacey? Happy to see ya. What's your win of the week if you got one to share? And the best way to like look at it is like how to play here. Fish, right? So you might find bass, flounder, salmon, trout in the buttons out there, and you'd be like, okay, that's the fish category, or fire ant, fire drill, fire island, fire opal. And then they range from easy to hard, yellow, although it's not always the case. All right, what do we see, chat? Monitor, screen, terminal, display, send it, visual interface. Yep. Then we have finish. What's up, Code with Sean? Why are you laughing? I don't know why I used to use a question mark. I did not do well at connections today. Is that what you're laughing at? Marcus says, treat it like a podcast when your Chillicoth podcast when you're driving. Automod held your message. Oh, what did it say? Gloves, corset. All right, let's allow corset. Oh man, it held a lot of people's messages. All right, we got both of you are guessing. Build-A-Builder and Coachon are saying gloves, corset, boa, and tie. All right, send it. No. Gloves, tie, corset, boa. Gloves, tie, corset, boa. Sorry, trying to deal with a bad rollout that started on Wednesday or Tuesday. No worries, Sean. It's not. I appreciate your help when you can make it and do it and whatnot. But it's not. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Do what you gotta do, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about boa. I feel like I kind of like, but I'm thinking that's like boa constrictor, like snake. Those are things you wear. Damn, yeah. I'm thinking more like hand cream, hand gloves. I don't know. Hand tie. Stuff like that. Maybe, maybe not. And hand finish. Tanning cream for colors. Oh, that's a good idea. I don't see any other colors though. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try sending this. Oh, I guess not. Or hand check. And hand finish. No, we weren't even one away with that, so it's probably not a category. Or at least it's weird. I heard the word corset about 50 times today, and now it's on this game. Yeah, it's weird. Those are things you wear, damn. Tan, buff, cream, fawn. Tannish colors? Okay, I'll try it. Send it. Beige shades. All right, we're on the right track there. Nice job, JT, bringing it home, though. All right, so now we got... basket. Bask, like bask in the sun. I feel like this is like maybe racing or something. You check, you finish, you tie, you fan, like finish line or something like that. You know what I mean? What do you think about that, chat? You bask in glory. Yeah, there's that too. Any thoughts on this? Bask in. Check in. I want to help, but I already played. Oh, no worries, Frack. I already get that. Bask in, check in. Tie in. Fan in. Oh. Hell if I know. Finish in? Oh, language homophones. I don't get that. I never, even though I've seen examples of homophones before, like finish, tie, check. Like it has double meanings, right? Bask. I don't know, Sean. I was just taking a shot. All right, what do we think this last category is? Corset, boa, gloves, fan. I think it's like stuff. I think you all were on the right track in the sense of like stuff you wear, right? But it's like fancy stuff. Like foo-foo accessory things, you know? I think it's something like that. Burlesque wear. Okay, cool. All right, nice job, chat. We got that done. Just to get it in before Clarkio does. Thank you. Drop that in the Discord connections channel. If you'd like to join up there, do !Discord command in the chat or go to clarkio.com/Discord for the invite link. We'd love to have you there, be part of the community, stay in touch off stream, and play these games too with us. See how we all compare each week. All right, moving on. We are going to get into the technical portion of the show shortly, but before that, I'm going to step away because I think the family's here, and I'm going to go say hi. And I'll be right back type of thing. Okay. So I'm going to set up words on stream briefly. Get you all set up and happy with that. Play a couple rounds. I'll get the mirror link dropped in the chat too. Put it on autopilot. Mirror link's going in the chat. What's up, James, Cheese, Sean, White over on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in. All right. I'm going to step away for a moment just to say hi to the family here. So, BRB. Let's start the game, though. Actually, I need the mirror link for...
About to start in 5,000 milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 180. Thanks for joining today. Lacerated_witness.
All right, I'm back, chat. Nice job getting to a level 11 already. Now going on to 12. Love to see it. Let's continue. Off to a meeting. All right, Sean. Have a good one. Appreciate you playing and hanging out for a bit. Regex. Deer. Greed. Greed. Oh, you got greed already. Edge. EXED. What's up, Lacerate Digits? Welcome in, buddy. Edger. Edge. Or no, X. That didn't work? Dex. Feed. Oh, one more word. Geed. Okay. I'll take it. Dredge. Nice job, Coach Sean. What are you doing? You're supposed to be in a meeting. Don't worry, I won't let them know that you're in here while that meeting's going on. Gird? Jeered? Beard? Gred? It's something like with an E, right? E... Edge. Nice, May. Good job. Nice job, chat. Great job, May, leading the way so far. And co with Sean, Rugmat, Build a Builder, Lacerate Digits, myself, and Roy Lisi. Let's keep it rolling. It ain't lunchtime yet, so we're going to play this round. We're going to have lunch shortly. In a little bit. And then I'll have lunch later. Oh, what am I saying? We're going to play this round, then we're getting into the technical portion of the show. In the middle of that, we'll take a little lunch break. And then I also have to stop at like 4 p.m. Eastern time to go pick up the kiddo, my youngest. So, just a heads up on the schedule. I don't know any of these. Oh, oiled? What's the hidden letter? We got a hidden and a fake. I think J is fake. J is fake. We gotta figure out what the hidden letter is. Soiled? Coiled? Foiled? Filed? Mild. Silo. Lied. I got that one at least. Maybe died. Somebody tried died. Nope. Deli. That's a good one. Lides. Loads. What is the hidden letter? B. Boiled. Low. Old. Oh, we need a lot of words. We're not going to get it.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today, Rugmat.
Hey, Rugmat, but... Hey, nice job, chat. You did a good job. You did indeed good. Made it to level 15. We'll play another round in a bit. but lunch is not ready just yet, so we will come back to this. Okay, we'll come back. In the meantime, we're gonna get jumping into the technical portion of the show, in which case I need to get set up really quick, so hold on a second. Let me connect to the code space and all that fun jazz. AI YouTube reporter tool. Yep. And then I need to get this LinkedIn stream going. Save that. Hit OK. And we're going to go live. Oh, mute that. Using AI. How did I put it over here? Bear with me, chat. All right. Going live on TikTok now too. Hello everyone over on TikTok. Thank you for tuning in. We're using AI to try and solve the classic coding meme, which if you're not familiar with it, I'll share and give it some more TikTok now too. Not TikTok, LinkedIn. Why did I say TikTok? We're going to be doing that. But first, what I want to talk about, and this is the meme I'm talking about. Right here. Spend 10 minutes doing the task manually, spend 10 hours trying to automate it with code, right? There's also an XKCD that's about it too. But before I get into the weeds of that, something that I've been doing this week and that I've done in the past that I want to share with folks and give kind of guidance and advice, because I feel like based on my experience, it could be helpful. Not just my experience, also my training that I've gotten on this stuff. So if you're interested in learning about, and I kind of want to like record this a little bit. I'll take this as a recording and turn it into something maybe. We'll see. Work call made me miss words on stream and avoiding work. No problem, Builder. We'll play words on stream when I switch over to a lunch break here in a moment, and like a little bit. So we're going to talk about this really quick, okay? So the idea is you're looking to, and you know what, we're going to pause the music for this. You are looking to submit a talk to a conference because you want to really talk about something, you want to get your name out there, whatever your motive. It could be a combination of all kinds of these motivations, but all of them good, positive stuff, very welcome, and it's fun to do. As somebody that has in the past done it more frequently, and I haven't been doing it as much lately, I can definitely attest to like building out a talk and delivering it in front of an audience is a great experience, a good skill to have as a developer. Let me switch the category to over on Twitch, software and game development as well. It's a good skill to have and a good experience as a developer for a lot of reasons. One is if you basically the main one I would say that comes of this, if you are going to be able to do something like this, is when you learn something new, the way that you can truly tell that you've learned and understood that topic or idea is if you can deliver a talk and teach somebody else that same topic. And that's when you can feel like really convince yourself even more so that you truly know that subject. So that's one of the big value adds I would say for producing a talk and delivering it Another one is like when you go to conferences, or even if you just do it virtually, it's a great way for you to network and get to know other folks in the community that are, really have an interest in the things that you have an interest in too. Like, because not just in the coding industry, but in any industry, there's a lot of different like little niches beyond that, right? I mean, you could do web development, for instance, or mobile development, or security, or uh, IoT stuff, right? I mean, you can go on and on about the different little sectors of the programming industry in itself, and this expands on to other industries as well. And so these conferences, while they can be huge at times, or there's small ones even, they range in all kinds of sizes. They're definitely beneficial from the aspect of like networking, but networking in the sense of like just building relationships with people, not so much like what can I get out of this person. It's more of like getting to know people that have the same like common interests as you, same things that they want to pursue or learn about as you, and you can work together in a sense on that. Not necessarily literally work at the same company type of thing, which is what a lot of people what comes to mind for a lot of people that are when they think and hear the word networking, but more so of just finding your community. I definitely can attest to that from personal experience and hearing from other folks too, that is a benefit of these types of conferences. And one of the ways to get into these conferences, whether instead of having to maybe financially purchase a ticket or have your company financially support you to go to that conference, is to become a speaker too. So there's that other avenue that you can approach it to get that value out of the conferences as well. All right, so those are like the two things to top it off with in terms of like why as a developer would it be good for you. And I'm sure I could think of more. I'm just riffing off the top of my head for this right now. Think of more reasons why it would be valuable for you to go to a conference and try to speak at a conference. But let's get into submitting a talk to a conference. So I've had some formal training many years ago, from a past job, about just delivering talks, but also in submitting proposals. So a lot of times conferences will have a period of time before the conference is even really set in stone necessarily. They'll have what's called a call for proposals, or a CFP, or a talk submission. They have different ways that they might describe it depending on who's organizing it and how they feel appropriate to describe that. But the idea is you're submitting a talk as part of this process. They receive these talks and they have like a committee or whatever. I mean, everything. I imagine a lot of different conferences have different ways of handling it, but generally speaking, at least in my experience, there's a committee of people so that you can get a well-rounded evaluation of all the talk submissions, and that'll help bubble up like what are the ones that should be selected. Excuse me, a little indigestion. What are the talks that should be selected and put into, maybe the conference has different tracks, and like, does this talk fit more in this track versus another track? Or if it's just a single track type of thing, is this talk worthy or beat out some of the other talks that are also looking to convey a message on that same or similar topic too. So that's typically what happens there. And that period of time can range, again, depending on the organizers of that conference and what their timeline is and what their needs are. So just to give you an idea of that aspect of it, since I've been on both sides of this, where I have submitted talks and had them accepted, and I've had a lot rejected. And then I've been on the other side where I am evaluating people's talks and having to do the whole accepting and rejecting type of thing, which can be quite stressful as well. All right, so that kind of laying the foundation of what we're discussing first off before we get into the rest of the technical portion of the show, which is the AI piece that I was talking about. This is something that was going on this week where I was in the process working with my company to evaluate talks for an upcoming event that we have. It's called DevSecCon 24. You can check it out. It's over at, I had the link up. Where did it go? Where did it go? Well, you can go to devseccon.com, but the specific event link is the following, which I'm going to drop in here over on LinkedIn. I'm going to drop it over on the other chats. So that people can check it out if they like and be able to tune in when that goes live. It's going to be October 8th and 9th, or 8th to the 9th. So you can check it out and tune in. But that's going to be our security conference that's going to be with a little bit of a focus on AI. So in any case, we're having multiple tracks on there, and then the team that I'm on was responsible for evaluating talks for a specific track. Now, and I'm basically sharing this because it's top of mind, and I think it's good to give people some advice and guidance when it comes to submitting a talk based on the experience I've had in recently and in the past, and my experience from submitting my own talks and what I've learned from coaching on submitting talks too, to make them get selected, winning talks basically. And so I kind of wrote down my notes here, and we'll talk through them a little bit more to riff on it here. So starting from the top, right, you got to think about the title, kind of like if you have experience making YouTube videos too and thumbnails, you think about what's the title going to be that's going to be catchy enough and interesting enough to draw someone to want to click on that video to watch it. The same kind of can be applied when it comes to a talk at a conference. So let's say you know, even after evaluation or whatever, your talk gets selected. What's going to draw people? Because a lot of times, especially if it's a conference that has multiple tracks, and developers are then, you know, or conference goers are then left with deciding which track do I go to, which conference or which talk do I go to at this time slot that is competing with each other. Maybe there's like 4 different tracks and you're in one track, and then there's 3 other tracks you got to compete with to draw an audience to there. That's where a catchy title comes into play, because that's the start of it, right? That gets their attention and helps them think, oh, maybe that would be of interest to me based on like what my experience is and what I'm going through right now as a developer. And this, I'm going to tailor it more so for developers here in this case. But also, like, is it something that really is intriguing, even if it's not necessarily pertaining to something that they're going through right now and they necessarily need to learn about right now? Is the title catchy enough that they're like, this sounds like it's going to be good. This sounds like it's going to be really good. I don't want to miss it, type of thing, right? So what I've seen a lot of times, and this is typical, like I've done this in the past too, where it's like a long-winded, boring, blah kind of title. Because what ends up happening for us as developers is we just want to tell it like it is. Like, we're very analytical, very data-driven, and so we're like, you know, to give you an example, like, this is a talk, you know, almost to the point where it's saying this is a talk about cross-site scripting and why it's important. You know what I mean? Like, people have heard that before, likely and often, and it doesn't really stand out. You know what I mean? Even though the talk is about that, and that is a good subject to talk about and teach people about, it's not necessarily something that's going to draw their attention anymore from another talk that might have that might be on the same thing, but it just has like a different angle or story to it, or just like a catchy way of, I don't know. I hope I'm articulating this well for folks, and let me know in the chat if you're feeling yes or no, that type of thing as we go through this. But just basically my point here is, like, your title should not really be exactly what the talk is about. It should be your unique angle or your clever way of describing what the talk will be about without saying exactly what it's going to be about. So I'm trying to think if I have an example off the top of my head. I don't, but the idea would be, let's go with that cross-site scripting one. Like, maybe it could be like, here's what happened to me with the cross-site scripting vulnerability, you know, something to that effect, where that way it's like somebody's reading that and they're gonna be like, okay, well, so this sounds like somebody actually got affected by a cross-site scripting vulnerability, and I want to hear what that was like. What's that experience, and what did they do to like fix it, right? Because maybe I already know about cross-site scripting, but I don't know all the different ways that somebody might be impacted by it, and now this talk might have a unique approach to that would be interesting to me and entertaining. Because that's another thing about this. Like, a lot of times the next level speakers that I've experienced, at least, I'm not saying I've ever gotten to this point personally, but next level speakers are able to take like a pretty boring topic and make it super entertaining and interesting, because they just find this really fun way to talk about and describe it. So there's that. I'm like shivering because the fan's on. Hold on. It's funny. It's either too hot in here because the computer's like running hot from streaming, or it's too cold with the fan going. So Ayush, I see you over. Good. Thanks for joining on Twitch, by the way. 3 a.m. challenge titles. You need to democratize the thing, I guess. I don't know that I fully follow exactly what you're saying. The 3 a.m. challenge titles by that. I don't know. And democratize the thing. I guess, yeah, that's kind of a good way to put it or describe it, is you want it to appeal to a broader audience. But at the same time, you don't want to make it too general to where like it's too vague and people don't know what it's about, and therefore they're like, I'm not going to take a chance on this going to this talk. Or the evaluators, the people running the conference, are like, I'm not going to take a chance on this because I don't really understand what we're going to get out of this having this talk in our event, you know? And so that's what I'm saying here with the catchy title. Like that's the start of it, right? What's your fun way? What's a fun take on the subject that could be the title? And this kind of goes into if you already, a lot of times you don't have to submit. Oh, hold on. Lunchtime. All right, let's try and get through this quick before it goes cold. A lot of times, another like early on piece of advice I would say is you don't necessarily have to have the talk completely done, slides done, demos done before submitting it. I've often have had an idea of like what I would want to do for a talk, and I submit it, and then getting accepted is the motivation to actually building it out more. So really what you need to think about is like, it's something interesting that happened to you and you want to tell that story to other people, but like what's the fun angle that's going to really catch people's attention, keep them engaged and wanting to, and getting organizers to be like, oh, this is going to be a cool talk to have that our audience is really going to enjoy. Or we would like basically get them to be like, if I were to sit through this talk, I would have fun with it and find it engaging and interesting, right? So that's kind of the approach you want to take with it. If you've done the talk before, that's good too. That also helps, like when I'm going through the evaluations in this recent case, seeing that somebody has given that talk before or just knowing them, noting that they did that, or if they have a recording of it, it's super helpful because then it gives us a little bit more confidence that this is somebody that's going to be, you know, like not necessarily like a paid speaker, but like they're professional in the sense that they've had experience. They know what it's like to present a talk, that type of thing. Okay. Any questions so far that anybody's having or thoughts so far? You should say Microsoft generalized programming in this 2020. I'm not following your thought process. I'm sorry, buddy. Or at least he says, a technical section. Yes, that's where we're at. All right, so you come up with a catchy title, description-wise. So it should do similar to the title. It should be doing like elaborating a bit more on the title, but still following that fun and like mysterious but storytelling type of way. So you want to find a creative way to share the idea or message that's behind the talk, right? Don't just blatantly say exactly the boring stuff like ... This is about cross-site scripting, and cross-site scripting is bad because it can lead to session hijacking or this and that, and it can data exfiltration. It's like, yes, that's true, but like that's not making the talk any more interesting. You know, like it's not going to stand out, especially if somebody else submits a talk based on cross-site scripting. I know I keep going with that example. We'll keep that as like a common thread to apply to these different things here. One of the ways I've learned and was taught to like structure it is a lot of times, again, different conferences have different ways of handling their CFPs, their call for proposals, or their talk submissions. Some of them just let you do only a title and description. Some, like we've been using Sessionize, which I find to be a great platform for this. Where it lets you customize it a little bit too, but gives you a lot of different options for your potential speakers to submit their talks. And so, but oftentimes it's just a title and just a description, and that's it. So when that's the case, especially, but regardless if that's the case or there's more, the structure of the description should be something like where it starts with the question that the talk is supposed to answer. So it's like, you know, how many of you, I'm trying to think of a good example with this because I'm just riffing on this, folks, but I'm trying to think of a good example with cross-site scripting of how I would approach that on the spot right now. But I'm not that good, I guess. This stuff, I'll tell you one thing, this stuff, it doesn't just come to mind. It takes a lot of time and effort to write up a talk proposal and make a good talk proposal, let's say. But the question could be like, you know, have you ever been impacted by cross-site scripting and knew about it? right? Because what that would allude to maybe is like makes it a little bit mysterious. Again, I'm just riffing. I don't think it's that great of an answer, or a way to start with this question. But to me, that leads a little bit to mystery, right? Like, wait, what do you mean? Have I known about it or not? Maybe there were some times that I was affected by cross-site scripting and I didn't know about it. Maybe this talk is going to tell me about it, right? So you start off with like an intriguing question that is part of the talk and the subject that you're going to be answering within the talk. And so basically what we're doing here is we're setting up, as I'm calling out in this part right here, you're setting up the problem or conflict that's part of your story. If you think about how the story is structured, it starts off with some type of conflict, and the main character, whatever, has to solve that conflict. That's what happens at the climax, and then there's the conclusion, right? That type of thing. So that's what you're doing here, and you're doing that in like one sentence, starting off with the question, and then you go on in the next couple of sentences explaining what's the way you're going to answer or solve that problem. Okay. And so in this case, I would say like, oh, I'm going to talk about an example of when I actually fell victim to cross-site scripting in my application and how I captured it and figured out that was happening. And, you know, I'm not going to go into those so many words, but I'm going to very succinctly describe that story that I'm going to convey as part of this talk, right? And then you kind of, through your answering of like, through your description, describing the question and the answer and the problem and conflict and how it's going to be solved, it should be in a way describing who the talk is intended for. And then that way that helps the evaluators know that, okay, this does fit our conference, right? Like this is something that would work well for the subject and the focus area that we have for our conference, or it works well for a specific track within the conference that's more broad, right? Instead of something more broad, I mean. So that's what's good about that. And then how will the message be conveyed or reached the desired outcome for the audience? Meaning like, what would you, as the person that's delivering the talk, expect? What do you want people walking away from the talk to feel and gain as a result of sticking around and watching your talk or listening to your talk, right? And so in this case, I would want them to really go into with the cross-site scripting example. I would want them to feel more equipped, that they have the answers on how they can use different mitigation techniques to defend their applications from cross-site scripting attacks, right? And they'll know a concrete example from my story of me experiencing that type of thing. Okay, I'm going to pause there. I see Build a Builder on Twitch says, ever gotten short trying to query the YouTube API? Oh, you're using that as like an example? Yeah, that could be a good way, a good question to like answer. Let's say, yeah, maybe we're talking about building apps against the YouTube API at like a Google conference or something like that, right? So, yeah, I could see that being like a good opening. Yeah, just joking around. Yeah, I'm with you. I got you, Build a Builder. All right, and then some bonuses that I came across when I was thinking, again, writing down these notes as I'm evaluating these other talks. I mentioned this before. If you've given talks before, that's helpful, but it's not like a huge thing where if you haven't given a talk before, it's not going to be, at least for me personally. I know some conferences, they tend to favor and cater towards people that are like kind of careerist speakers, which in a lot, you know, to each their own. It's their conference. They can do what they want, that type of thing. But then there's other conferences that are way more open to beginner speakers. And like, I mean, the idea could be, you know, let me back up there. Let's say you are a beginner speaker and you're trying to get into a big name type of conference out there. One of the ways you can really build credibility as a speaker is by, and to get that experience that you would need to prove to them, to the organizers of that conference, to accept your talk as a newer speaker that they've not had before, is going to like local meetups, like going to a code camp, starting off at smaller conferences and building up to those bigger conferences. That will give you a lot of credibility, a lot of experience, and you can redo that talk. That's one thing that took me a while to realize. Like, you can give the same talk over and over again. Not everybody is going to these same conferences, these same areas within your region or outside of your region, if you're looking to go even further than that. And it's okay to give the same talk. You're going to reach more people, different people that haven't heard the talk before. Or if there's somebody actually, there is the rare case where somebody has heard you giving that talk somewhere else, then they'll just go to a different talk, or they'll skip that session, you know, whatever it may be, like, so be it. So, or they liked it so much that they want to see it again. Maybe that could be the case, right? So that's a way that you can build that credibility, build up the experience so that you can stand out a bit more and in doing that, I'll tell you one thing. Again, it took me a while to realize that this is okay, because I used to think I had to come up with a new talk every conference I went to, and that it's a lot of work doing that. But the other added bonus, I was gonna say benefit and bonus in one word. The other added bonus or benefit to doing the same talk at different conferences over and over again is you hone the talk. You really like chisel away at like the stuff that doesn't really add to the talk and it's not really bringing a lot of value, and you get better at delivering it, and it just becomes a way more well-rounded presentation for the folks that get to see it later on, type of thing. Build a Builder in Twitch was saying, I was going to say speaking at meetups are a great start. Exactly, yeah. Or, you know, how I started out personally at a past job, if you work at a company that's doing this type of stuff, you know, it varies depending on companies, but like, even if they don't do this, you can start it up yourself, doing little lunch and learn things. So at the time, I don't remember if we started on our own or if it was already existing, but we were doing like these brown bag lunch and learn type of things. And I would go, and it would just be a few people from different development teams within the company. We would all meet up and just see somebody speak about, like, it was once a week, or I don't know what the cadence was, once a month. Somebody would come in and talk about something that they were working on and do a presentation that way. And that helped me gain a lot of confidence in myself speaking in front of people. I mean, to this day, I'm still nervous about that. We can talk about like overcoming nerves when it comes to speaking in front of an audience as a separate thing. It's something that's still a challenge for me even to this day, to be honest. But the more you do it, the less that becomes a problem for you. That's the quick piece of advice with that. So anyway, the point I'm making there is that you don't even need to go to like a local meetup or something. You could do something that's part of your routine day job, and you just take a lunch break, get a bunch of coworkers together and do that on some cadence, some frequency that works for you and your company, and you get practice that way internally. So I did that, and then we had like an internal only kind of conference that was a little bit bigger. Like it had more teams and more people that don't normally go to the brown bag lunch type of things that were there, and that helped expand it. And that's been fun. Also, doing paired kind of sessions helps kind of another aspect of like dealing with the nerves. If you like kind of break up the load between you and another person in terms of delivering the talk, that helps kind of, you know, knowing that you have someone there with you to kind of cover for you if you start fumbling or something like that. That's another great way to kind of approach it and get over the fear of doing that type of stuff. Okay. Build a Builder in Twitch is saying, I also feel that incorporating interaction in the talk helps attendees to be more engaged and memorable. Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's a good way. I think, again, that type of thing is like when you're iterating on your skills and you're getting better and you're skilling up, you want to start incorporating that stuff. But starting out, I would say, I mean, you can try and incorporate that starting out. I'm not trying to deter anybody from that, but I'm just saying at the beginning, right now, I'm just talking about, hey, let's get your talk accepted at a conference type of thing. But yes, that definitely is something that when you have more interaction or more things that drive engagement or reactions, like audible reactions to people in the audience, that is going to have a more long-lasting impression upon them, and they're going to walk away from that talk feeling like they got a lot out of it, like that was one of their favorite talks at the conference or whatever it may be. If you can somehow invoke that emotion through your presentation. All right, so I mentioned having given that talk specifically before. Having recordings of it is great, because then that way I, as an evaluator for the CFP, can see how you deliver a talk. Like, what's your style? What's your approach? Do you deliver? Is your message clear when you're presenting on, even if it's a topic that's not, it's a different talk than the one that you submitted, it's still helpful in that manner. And then have other pieces of content to show your experience speaking, right? So maybe you have videos out there, or maybe you have written content too, like the way you write and your style there can help a conference evaluator get a better idea of, because maybe the reason I bring that up is sometimes what can happen is, especially for beginners, maybe the way they wrote up the talk submission is not that great, but the topic is still good. And maybe, you know, what can help kind of push it over the line is, I see that you've made effort in talking about that in other places, or talking about other things in other places, and that style like is interesting and convincing, and I could see that get applied to this talk, and we can work on it together prior to the conference like coming up. That that would give me confidence as an evaluator to rate that a bit higher. And as a committee, we'd come to the conclusion of accepting that type of talk. So anyway, this is something that I just experienced this week that I kind of wanted to riff on and share. I took some notes as I was going through talks of like what I was seeing. A lot of the stuff I was seeing that I felt bad about, but it's very common. And that's why I wanted to bring it up, because I felt like I haven't talked about this in a while. Plus I haven't been involved in it in a while, and it brought back some of those creative juices and skills that in this area that I haven't thought about or exercised in quite some time. So yeah, some examples that like, not like specific examples or calling anybody. I don't even remember. I didn't even look at the names in a lot of cases. Like the nice thing with Sessionize is like all the speaker specific information, like their profile is at the very bottom. So I am like literally just looking at title, description, and then we would have key takeaways that they could put in there. And that's what I was basing off my evaluation on. And I find that to be super helpful, because like if I know the person, then then naturally as a human being, you're gonna have, you're gonna like kind of favor that a little bit. And so I was avoiding that as much as possible. So what was I gonna say? But yeah, some of the submissions where like, because we had a couple situations where people submitted like the same topic idea, like in security space, like you probably have heard this before, shift left, right? And so there were a few talks that were like around that one. And the one that stands out to me even right now is one that was like, no, you shouldn't shift left, you should shift down, I think it was, or something like that. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting take on that stands out and could be a good, I think I'm pretty sure I rated that one pretty high. I don't know. I'm not part of the accepting process. I was just one of the people in the committee to like help rate the talks and provide comments on them. What was I going to say about that? So I don't know if it got accepted. That's where I was going with it. But why am I blanking right now? Oh, but yeah, so I was going with that concrete example, right? So it was like talking about shifting left, shifting security left. And what they typically, the message with that is like, instead of waiting until something's in like a project's in production to do a security evaluation, you're throughout the life cycle of that piece of software, the software development life cycle, you're integrating security measures and checks along the way. And the idea is you're shifting it left all the way back to the point when you're actually writing the code or designing for the project, getting things figured out for that project, for that piece of software. You're incorporating security in that flow, in that part of the flow. And that's what shifting left is in a nutshell, very briefly. But there's a lot of talks about like how to do that, right? Like what's the best way to do that? Where should you integrate security into the whole software development lifecycle? And, so it's like, it's a very common topic that's been hot in the security space, but it's kind of tried and true, or I don't know. I don't want to say overplayed, because it's a very important message. It's an interesting and a good concept that should be employed from a security perspective. But the reason I'm bringing this up is like, if somebody's just doing that straight up like that, and it's just the same message that lots of people in the industry have heard before, then it's not going to really stand out. It's not going to add more value than, you know what I mean? That type of thing. So what's a unique way to describe that? Like maybe talk about a real world example of how you did that, or that type of thing, right? So yeah, that's what's going on there. All right. I hope that was helpful. I wanted to take some time out of the technical segment of the stream today to go over that, because it was top of mind, and I feel like I'm in a position where I can share from my experience and training that I've had in the past to help people get better about that. So hopefully if you're watching this either live or you're watching a recording of it later, this was beneficial to you, and you get out there and you submit a talk, and maybe you have a higher chance of being accepted now because of this advice and guidance. Thanks. Sean on Twitch is saying, just write an AI to evaluate the talks. Funny thing is, speaking of that, you can kind of tell when people do talk submissions that and they used AI to do that. So just saying, it kind of feels that way. Like when it's using like a lot of jargon and things like that. A lot of times too, I think it's just like when there's the more corporate-y type of events, instead of like developer or like, I don't know, like the people on the ground type of events, those type of events are like, you can tell the talk submissions are from people that are just like engineers almost, where they, like I was saying before, it's like very, this is what happened, this is how you do this, X, Y, and Z from A to B, very plain, very straightforward. It's still valuable, but just not a fun way. Like a talk, you need to add some flair, some spark to it, right? But also as part of this, I'm noticing that a lot of corporate type of speakers will submit, and there's like a lot of corporate speak and jargon in their submission, and it's just interesting. I think, that type of stuff works in certain types of events, but like for a more, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for? Ground up type of event. I don't know what the right word is that I'm looking for here. I don't know. It's just not something that appeals to me as a developer, So anyway, but yeah, you can tell when they're more like corporate-y, executive-y type of talks. Oh, and then on top of that, there's a lot of companies that will, they kind of like view it as like, oh, this is a way I can just get in here and talk about my product or whatever. And those get sniffed out pretty quickly too. So just a heads up on that. Like if you're a company that's just like looking to get more visibility and essentially do marketing through conference talks for your product and services, I'm not saying you can't do that. I'm saying make it so that it doesn't feel like a sales pitch. Okay? A lot of times it's very obvious that all you're trying to do is make a sales pitch. What the reality is, the way you can get that to work where it's a win-win for the conference and for you, is if you find a unique way to tell a story about the problem that your service is trying to solve, and you just the greatest ones I've seen of that, I don't have an example off the top of my head, but the greatest ones I've seen of that is where they don't even mention, besides maybe saying where they work, or sometimes they don't even do that, but like they're able to deliver a talk about a problem and how it needs a solution. And you naturally know that their product, without them even having to say it, their product solves that problem. Those have been the best kind of talks that I've seen from companies that are trying to do those like salesy types of things without being completely obvious. That's the guidance there from me on that. So if you're looking to do that, you need really good speakers that know how to tell a story and sell something without it being so obvious. And the talk submission needs to really, really do a good job of that. And then on top of that, you need to deliver. So if you can tell a talk about your product or services without actually naming or talking about your product or service, you're gonna be in a winning position there with that. Let me catch up on some chat here. That was in response to like Sean's message over on Twitch. Sean also went on, talk about shift right because you work in a language like Hebrew where it's written and read right to left. Kappa. Sean's just joking around type of thing there, but yeah. Buildability on Twitch says, I hate the sales pitchy talks. Yes, exactly. Sean's plus wanting that basically. They are the worst. Yeah. Yeah. It's so like, and somebody, this is the thing. Sometimes those talks can get accepted still, like because they trick. I mean, either they trick or the conference organizers don't really pick up on it or whatever the situation may be. They get accepted, they come in, and they might have a good talk title and description, and conference goers will be like, oh, this seems like it could be an interesting talk, and then you go to it, and it literally ends up becoming just a sales pitch. You're like, oh man, like that's like even worse. So, or even worse, or one of the worst things with the conference there in that regard. Anyway, or money. Yeah, wasting the money on it. All right. Well, I'm off of that topic. Let's move on to eating lunch and playing Words on Stream for a little bit until we get into. So if you want to stick around though, the next technical thing I'm going to be going through is talking about what the title and the streams are about. And that is, can AI solve this meme? And the idea is you do something manually, a manual task, and the typical reaction to that as a developer, you recognize that that's the case that you're doing, and you're like, I can automate this with some type of code, some script or something. And so that's what I've been working on. And to set the stage of the real world example of what I've been working on, I have this report that I do weekly where I'm gathering my company's YouTube stats to see like how did the videos perform, how does the overall channel perform, and we've been working on getting the data for that. Now, we've answered it in the first stream, so this is part 3 of working on this. So this is the 3rd stream of doing this. We had, in the first stream, solved it in the most minimal ways, because we started off small, and I said, okay, just get me the data on the total number of views and subscribers that were gained on the channel, and then call it a day. And we were able to do that. Since then, we tried to expand to like fulfill the rest of the report that I have, which is the next step was to figure out how many new long form or normal standard format videos were published on the channel, and then how many YouTube Shorts format were published on the channel in that week. And we struggled on that, and that wasn't because of the AI. It was actually because of the YouTube API and their documentation. So if you want to kind of catch up on that, you can tune into the recording of the last stream over on youtube.com/Clarkio. I'll do a recap when we get into that point and I start picking up this portion of the technical segment. But in the meantime, I'm going to take a break so I can eat this lunch while it's still hot. We're going to play a game called Words on Stream. You'll get the gist of it, but the idea is the words are scrambled here. And then you can use the Twitch chat. So if you're watching over on Twitch, you can participate. If you're watching over on another platform, I'll drop the link in the chat so you can tune in that way. But you use the letters that are shown on screen, and you just send your message in the chat with those letters, and you're good to go. And you'll get points. And we work as a team basically to go higher and higher. So mirror link is being dropped. Roy Lisi says, oop, why are we back to this? Because I got to eat lunch. I'm hungry. We've spent about 10 minutes of coding per stream working on it. Is that what you say? Would you say that, Sean? I worked off stream on it too. So there is that. All right. Music back. Let's play little words on stream while I eat my lunch. I know, Sean. I know you're just messing around. I don't know what it was. You're probably maybe right to some degree.
Welcome in and thanks for joining today Peakside Pattern guys.
Hey, welcome in, Pex. We're on Twitch.
Thanks for joining today PH4 and 7M.
Thank you, Sean. All right, chat. Finish eating now. We'll finish out the round, and then we'll get back into the technical segment. All right, alphabetically, 4-letter word between eels and else.
Welcome and thanks for joining today's Sasu.
Really? Thank you, Sean. They're out today, huh? Buy followers on Twitch. Dang bots. All right, level 8 going to level 11 now, chat. Keep it up. Lunch break about to finish. This is our last round. Felt. Oh. I think T is fake. Because felt should work. T is fake. T is fake. What's the muffler? Nice job, May. Somebody do ruffle. Or you FFLE. There we go. Nice job, Sean. These other 5-letter words. Flume. Floofy. Femur. Fume. Bum. All right, good job, chat. Good job. Level 3 levels again. Level 14. All right, it's gonna start getting a little tougher. Continue. Ooh, all right, we got fake and hidden letters now. Attitude. May coming in hot with the big word this time, right off the bat. All right, now we know. I think N is fake, so all the letters except N. Hide. Diet. Tude. Nice job, May. Edit. I'm blanking right now. Tatted. Carrying us right now with the larger letters, more point words. 18 points away. 18 points away. Oh, I didn't realize E was the hidden letter. Tate, maybe? T-A-T-E. Need one more. Nine more points, chat. 9 more! Oh, no. Oh, no. Can we do it? Oh, level 4. I think we did better last round. Earlier. All right. Well, good try. Good try. GG's. Good game. Lunch break is over now, but shout out to May, Builder, Sean, Pex, and Roy Lisi for helping us get to level 14. Appreciate you. Hope you had some fun while I was busy eating there. Let's get back to business and work through this, okay? I'm gonna have to restart it probably. All right, so let me catch up everybody from last stream. Essentially where we left off is I was trying to use the YouTube API in particular. I think it was the analytics API or just the data API to figure out, to get a list of public videos from a given channel. So in this case, I'm using my channel, but typically I'd be using my work channel, and get the total number of standard videos, which is like the typical YouTube format videos, and then vertical shorts videos, and then even live streams maybe. But I really only care about the shorts and standard videos. Okay. And what I learned between the last stream and this stream, because last stream we got stuck essentially, and the problem was just like YouTube's API is limited. In fact, we found several issues on the YouTube API where people were talking about this, and just like a whole list of +1s of people saying, hey, this should be added to the YouTube API, da 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 da. But what was fun about this off stream that I did is I kept, Googling and chat GPTing and all that fun jazz. And I found, where did I put it? I think I put it in the Wins channel. No, I put it in general, actually. I just saw it. This particular Stack Overflow, which we actually, if I recall correctly, maybe it's even open here. Is this it? Yes. No. Yes. So this is open. This tab is open from last stream, actually. Okay. But this particular answer right here, which is the top one that I guess gleaned over, or I didn't fully understand it live in the moment. Okay. So what ends up happening is the TLDR of this, without having to read through it all, is YouTube for your channel ID. It starts with UC. Okay. So like in this case, they're using this example UC here. And what you can do is, I guess, behind the scenes, or the undocumented web, if you will, of YouTube, is they have different playlists for the different types of content that you might have on that channel. And so all you need to do to get that, the ID of those playlists are going to be replacing the UC in the channel ID, removing that, and replacing it with either UULF for like long form videos, UULP for popular videos, LV for live videos, so forth. And then shorts are UUSH. So what I was able to do, and actually I don't know if it's still like that because it's been a few days since I looked at it. This was like Saturday when I was doing this. Last Saturday, that is. I had it working, and I switched to the playlists part of the YouTube data API, and that gave me an accurate number of shorts versus videos and so forth. So let me pause actually really quick because I don't know where exactly I left off, and I don't want to reveal anything that's maybe sensitive or whatnot. So I need to switch it, make sure it's using my personal stuff and not work stuff here. All right, I'm pointing to the Clarkio channel still in my env environment variables, and where I'm using that. I think this. Client service account token. No, I don't think I'm using that anymore. Let me look at the code really quick. So bear with me, chat, okay? Create a JWT client using the service account key file. Okay, I'm using that. Did I create that? Hold on, chat, hold on. Doom, 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 doom. Stretch time? Maybe. Maybe May. I want to get into the flow of this a little bit before I have to go pick up the kiddo though first. I like the beat of this song. I think that might be... Sorry chat, bear with me still. I think what I'm using in here is I'm going to do a little cross-reference here. Client ID on this versus... Where's my service accounts? I think I deleted the service account. I shouldn't be using that anymore. Okay, so this might be mine. Let's double check that. I'm gonna cross-reference it against mine now. I know I'm doing this all off stream, sorry. Okay, so that is mine. The service account is mine. Okay, good. And then let's double check the client secret. That client secret is mine and not work. Okay, that's good. Or the client ID rather, I'm saying. Woo! All right. Thank you for bearing with me on that. I just wanted to double check that I wasn't going to reveal anything, and I'm still using like my personal account stuff and not any work account stuff, which I think you can all appreciate to some degree. Okay. So that said, let me switch back over. So where did I leave off? How did I start getting the videos count and the shorts count? Well, let's look at the code here. In particular, I ended up writing a separate script, which is this get video count script. And so, as I mentioned before, right, it's get playlist video count, playlist type. So what I did is I made it a little bit more generic where I can pass in this variable or this argument, parameter. I always forget which one to use. Argument or parameter is the right term or not. And I say, all right, I want to get the shorts, or I want to get the live streams, or I want to get standard videos. And based on that, I take the channel ID, remove the first two characters, which is that UC, and then concatenate that, the prefix with that as the suffix, if you will. Okay. And we're using the same thing that I was mentioning from right here. Okay. That described it. So thanks to this person, shout out to Coco0419 on Stack Overflow, who wrote this or figured this out. And this is what I also posted about this is the reason why. I think it's yet another little data point to describe why AI is not going to replace developers, at least anytime soon, because this is such a unique and creative solution to the problem that AI is not going to be able to just think up of or try unless it gets trained. Maybe it can get trained on like different creative ways of tinkering with things, but this takes a human's like creativity and thought process, critical thinking of like, how can I get this? And this person seemingly looked at like the different ways that YouTube does their playlist, the standard like built-in playlist to the platform, and realized this pattern that these different standard playlist IDs are. Like, these aren't like created or user created, channel created like playlists. These are built into the YouTube platform that this person was able to discover. And they use some type of code here to like figure that out as well. And they have the demo code here. So I highly recommend, I'm going to share this directly in the chat to give credit to Coco0419, which again, my point being here, AI cannot come up with a creative solution like this in such a situation. Human beings are the only one capable of doing that, at least as of right now, 2024. And that's, yeah, and exactly, Sean on Twitch is saying, and because they are not documented, they technically could change at any point in time. That's a key thing, right? This could break if they decide. I doubt, for something like this, I doubt that would happen. But like, if you were doing, this is why we talked about this other possible solution of like, what if I do web scraping, right? Where I'm logged into, again, I'm not trying to sell this commercially. This is just for own personal internal reporting that we're doing on the data, so that other people at the company that don't have access to log into the YouTube analytics, they can get an idea of how things are trending with the content we're producing on the channel, right? So, so we're not doing anything like sketchy with this, but let's say we went the route of web scraping. It's still not a great solution because of what Sean just mentioned in the Twitch chat, which is, what if the UI changes on YouTube, or the data, the way the data is structured within the HTML on the page? We could write the code to fit that, but if it ever changes, then we're going to sit there banging our head against the wall, tweaking things so that it matches the new structure of the UI, right? And all that fun stuff. Thank you, May, for letting me know the ads over on Twitch. So, you know, again, AI It's great. It's good to use as like an assistant, and don't become too dependent upon it, but use it to help accelerate your workflow. And then don't feel intimidated by it. Like it's going to take your job, especially if you're an entry level person that's looking to get into this career. This AI stuff does seem scary at face value, but I'm showing you examples of like the AI that I was using to help me write up this script to try and solve this meme. Well, it didn't really, none of them, I've tried different ones too. None of them were able to figure this out, figure out how to delineate using the YouTube API to delineate between standard long form videos on the channel and shorts. So this person here, Coco, thank you. Shout out to you. Link is in the chat to check it out and read more about that, or plus it, or whatever you do on Stack Overflow. I don't know. All right, so getting back into the code. So I pass in what playlists type I'm looking for. It's built-in playlist based on that answer on Stack Overflow. And then from there, I use the playlist items API, which is what I switched to. Before we were using just the search API on the YouTube data API. Now we're using playlist items. I pass in saying that I want the snippet part and content details to come back. I give it the playlist ID, the total max results, and then next page token should get assigned to that variable type of thing. If we're going to go to the next page type of thing. Because we're doing this all while in a loop until next page token is nothing, undefined. Right, and then all I have to do is, knowing that it's based on the playlist ID that gets set here, I just count the length of items, and then I know, okay, there's that many shorts, that many long form videos. So, and I abstracted that all out into this function here, which is the one that's exported out of this module, and then I use that in index here, where I'm going and saying, okay, let's go get channel stats. We do the typical thing that we did before, where we get video subscriber count and views, total views. And then as part of that, I call the get videos from that module that's in this other file. You dig? So let's try running that again. Do I have an example of that? Yep. If I do that and hit enter, we can see, I think, do I have it pointing? I forget which channel I have it looking at. Because I can use my own like keys and client secret with YouTube and have it just look at the sneak channel, which I think is what's happening here. Let me double check. Which channel do I run weekly report? Am I hard coding the channel? Where am I defining which channel to look at? I forget. No, it should be my channel. I think this is for my channel because it's based on YouTube channel ID, and I double checked the environment variable that it's pointing to my channel, not Sneak. So this is my channel. So I have 61 regular videos and 47 shorts. Let's validate that. If we go over to Clarkio, how can I show that? It's saying 61 videos. I think shorts. I might need to go to my analytics page. Hold on. Or studio. YouTube studio. Go to content. I go to shorts. Filter by public. And then I'll bring this over. And we should see... Oh, yeah, 47 total items, total rows in this table. So we're getting shorts. I'm in my YouTube analytics for my channel. So that is accurate. It is 47 YouTube shorts. So that's great to see. And then if we go over here, filter to public as well, apply, and scroll to the bottom, we can see we have 61 public videos, long form videos. Although that's what's great about this is that, remember, we're running to like one of the previous possible solutions to this problem that we were trying out was looking at the duration of the video. And two things were wrong with that. For a live stream, the duration is usually like pretty long. And in the past, before you could live stream on YouTube, I used to archive my streams recordings from Twitch over to YouTube. As you can see here, like in this one, it's over 4 hours long, right? So that wouldn't be a good way to accurately figure out which video is a standard form video versus a live stream, unless maybe we went with like it's an hour or more, right? But even so, some people upload like hour-long podcasts now, and that's not a live stream. These are live streams right here. Like that's right. And then for shorts, we thought, oh, well, anything under 60 seconds. But what about videos that were, but then we would have to add in the other condition of like, if the video was uploaded before the shorts feature was enabled and it was under 60 seconds, then it's a standard video versus a short, right? Like it would get all kind of finicky. But even so, still, it wasn't accurate in finding the right short number of shorts versus long form videos. So in any case, this is a more concrete approach using these hidden playlist IDs. Based off of the channel ID. Now, that's catching. Now we're all caught up on what I did off stream between last stream and this stream. Build a Builder shared that I kind of want to explore and look at. I haven't looked at in depth yet, but they shared in the Discord that there's another way that they learned how to do it. And there's an API that they got working. It's also a YouTube internal no documentation API. Apparently, you can go to youtube.com/YouTubeI. Maybe, is that a typo, maybe, Build a Builder, if you're still there? I'm going to share this. I think this might be a typo. YouTubeI. V1/browse. You send a post request to that. The browse ID looks like it's the channel ID. Oh, you pretend. So they must have been looking at like the GraphQL or some type of front end request that was being made to get the data back. You should then see shorts video starting at around line 173 in the return JSON. So apparently that's another way you can do it. I wonder what the params is. Is this unique to like your channel? Build a Builder, if you're still there. Oh, you're still there. Good. Not a typo. Really? YouTubeI? So youtube.com/YouTubeI, like internal, I guess, huh? How did you come across that, Build a Builder? No way. That's probably going to go away or something, right? That's public too. Like it's internal, but it's publicly available to access. Super interesting. Nice find. Lots of research, then work on building the correct body payload. Impressive. I'm very impressed, Build a Builder, that you found that. You should maybe add that as a response to Stack Overflow. Let me send you the link to the Stack Overflow question, because this is a very, very popular question from 2.5 years ago, modified 2 months ago, viewed 28,000 times. So lots of people have this need to get YouTube Shorts from the YouTube API. So this could potentially help them. I mean, this is a good solution too, I think. And maybe more so a more, I don't know if, I guess from the YouTube's perspective, would they be upset about people using this? Just swapping the IDs out? I don't think so. They might be a little upset if people start using that some internal, I mean, but that's on them. Just because they're obfuscating the URL doesn't mean it's going to be secure or hidden from the public. So is what it is. But I feel like they'd be more okay with somebody using this solution versus the, and I think this solution's less likely to change, as going back to Sean 08's message from earlier in the chat. This solution is less likely to change because that would probably break things internally for them if they changed like prefix of built-in playlist IDs versus them changing the API, internal API URL thing that they had, right? Sean 08 saying, Twitch was annoyed with me for reverse engineering their internal APIs. There's that. Yep. Reverse engineering too. I saw that in the web scrape code. Okay. The data returned is very verbose and probably less clean, but possibly more detailed. I got you. Okay, cool. Can you give me some examples by that? Like, does it give me, so again, going back to like the report, excuse me, that I produce weekly. I include in that week over week subscribers gained versus lost, week over week video views gained versus lost, total published standard form videos, total published shorts since we started doing these new videos, which was back in April 8th, video views, total video views, total new subscribers, which is going to be the next step that I'm going to work on now. I want to see if I can pass in. I need to figure out the YouTube API that lets me pass in like a date range and give me the total number of views and subscribers that were gained in that range. So, Build a Builder says the data drives all of the YouTube HTML for a channel. Oh wow, okay. What else did I miss in chat? I for internal, maybe, yeah. YouTube I's internal API, also known as InnerTube. Really? Where are you learning all this stuff? The param is the code for shorts. Oh, is that what that was? Okay, what's the code for like standard videos then? And live. Were you able to capture that, Build a Builder? Sean says, I used a tool called Burp Suite, I'm familiar, to intercept the request so that I could determine what was sent and the response. It was a fun project. That does sound fun. Very cool. All right, I'm not going to change the code to use this right now, Build a Builder, but I'm definitely, nonetheless impressed. It's awesome to see that you were so like interested in working on this after watching the stream last week about it, and glad to see you found a fun, interesting solution to that. Like that could be a cool story, a cool talk submission right there. Going back to what we were talking about earlier, full circle. Like how to, like one angle you could take with that is, let's riff on this. One angle you can take with that is not like a typical developer would be like, here's how I don't know, like the very straightforward, literal way of describing this, what the talk would be, is how an engineer would describe it, which is, here's how I use this internal YouTube API, and that was it, right? And then I was like, this is how I did this, right? Not even describing like how you got to it, just like how to use this internal API or something like that. But what would be a unique story or angle is like, here's an example of how to creatively problem solve. You know, I'm like taking that angle of like, I ran into this roadblock and I didn't let that stop me. Here's what I did to try and find unique ways to find a solution to that. You know what I mean? Like that could be the angle, the story aspect of it, the entertaining aspect of it that you can pull into a talk based on just that topic right there. How to get a cease and desist from YouTube. Yeah, that would be a fun, that could make a good video on YouTube too, right? And you know, I'm not saying necessarily reveal your I mean, it's probably fairly similar to what other people would do, that like Sean was talking about, maybe using something like a Burp Suite tool to analyze the internal requests that are going on. Because again, this stuff, these companies, they know that they know they're exposing these APIs, but like trying to obscure them or keep them hidden in a way so that while they're publicly available, they don't have a lot of, like, because on the main APIs, they put a lot of stuff in place. Where's the documentation on these things? YouTube API. Right, on the official API, they treat it almost like a product that like they issue you an API key, and they have to do this type of stuff because otherwise people abuse it, right? But in some cases, for their own front end, they have to set up and spin up these APIs quickly to support features or whatever it may be, and people discover them and start using them, but they don't have the proper controls in place to like to really get their hands around who's doing what, and limiting people, maybe like causing them like increased cost on things and that type of thing. And that's why they frown upon people doing that type of thing. But again, like for something like this, but there's people that take advantage, is what I'm getting at, of a free API that's internal to YouTube, and then they create like products and make money off of that, and that's like a huge no-no, right? Like going back to what we were talking about before, if you're just web scraping too, huge no-no. Like I don't know if it's lawfully valid or not. There's probably some, I don't know, maybe that's a gray area or whatever. But besides the point, it's unethical, I would say, to some degree. If you're taking advantage of that and making it to make money and do something commercial with it. For the purpose of what I'm doing is just, I'm trying to get access to the data in a programmatic way so that I can internally make decisions based on that data, see how things are, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not anything nefarious, at least my perspective. If somebody wants to point out how that it could be nefarious for me to do that, I'm open to hearing that, but that's not my intention. And if I ever were to get told like, no, don't do this or whatever, I'd stop immediately. You know, it is what it is. Sean Waite says it's against the terms and conditions of YouTube. Oh yeah, that's a good point too. Forgot about that aspect of it. Some of the AI scrapers are getting in trouble over that. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's keep moving. I have limited time left before I got to get going. You've used 100% of included. I know. It's okay. GitHub, you can charge me. GitHub Code Spaces. I love GitHub Code Spaces. Big shout out to them. That way I don't have to pollute my local machine with all the dev stuff that I'm doing. If you're not familiar with that type of stuff, just look up cloud development environments. There's a lot of options out there. There's some that are free or ones that you can host yourself or whatever. I just like the convenience of GitHub Code Spaces, and I run with that. That's what that notification was about. All right, so let's run. I just ran it. So the next step from that point, actually, I shouldn't have cleared it. Let's see what the results are again. So I'm printing out the JSON object. This is what's getting written to, actually, I'm saving the previous week, right? Which is good because we need that to compare with. So the next step of what I want to do, let's write down what we need to do here. Was it in here? No, in here. This is like the example report. All right, so actually no, I've been using Notion. Notion's better because like this might get deleted by accident, and Notion's a little bit more. We'll go back over to Notion here, and I think it was actually in the last one, which is the 16th, results from the stream, right? To do next, get a baseline for public videos and do our own manual. Like we solved this essentially. We did that. I just did this basically. Oh no, I didn't do this. My other option was going to be like I manually go into the YouTube Studio analytics and check all the YouTube shorts and assign them to a playlist. Same for like, you know, and then I can use that playlist ID and do the same thing that I'm doing with the built-in playlist essentially. But we solved that. So we can kind of skip this. And so next steps from here, we're gonna we need to gather total subscribers gained and total video views since start of the YouTube program revamp. So essentially, like, given a specific start date and using current date, running the script as the end date, use the YouTube API to get total subs and views. All right, I need that. Then from there, compare that to last week's numbers. Actually, the comparison stuff we'll add later. Let's see if we can just do that for now. So essentially, we just need to see if I can use what part of the API, and I'll probably ask Claude this to try and accelerate it, right? That's the whole point of this thing, is seeing if using AI to solve the meme helps us. We'll see if we can find out what API we can use that takes in a given date range for us. We got about like a little around a half an hour. I want to stop around. I don't have a hard stop at 4 p.m. Eastern, but I want to stop around then. Okay. So we'll see where we get. I think we have time to do this. Let me double check one thing here. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm on the right AI, signed into the right account here. Okay. Okay, I have a solution. Interesting, it's getting cut off. I have a solution that gathers the total shorts versus long form videos and the total views and subscribers gained. Actually, I already have that information, don't I? This total number of subscribers, I don't think that's the total number of subscribers right now. I need to know the total number of subscribers from the start of it. I guess I don't really need to use the API for that, right? Because think about this. If I'm keeping track, let's say I was running the script every week. I could say like, maybe we put it as like initial subscriber count. You know what I mean? Or initial subscribers. And whatever that is, it could be like, you know, I don't know, 100 when we started on April 8th. And then like initial views, because I have that data already. Like I can just use that. Instead of me trying to figure out what other API, like why don't I simplify this? I already have the data. Why do I need the API to be dynamic enough? I'm not trying to build this so that anybody can use it. I'm building it specific to my project here. So let's say initial views was like, I don't know, 8,000 views, right? So just keep track of that and compare against that. That seems like a simple way to do this. I mean, maybe not put it in the previous week stats, but like original stats. Original or starting. Say starting stats.json. And then we could just write the logic to compare against that. And we could just focus on that. And then the report will essentially be done. All right, so this is previous week. We got the total number of subscribers then, total number of views, right? I think I still have a unique situation with the Sneak channel. Let's look at that example report again. We got the week over week, which I think we can calculate easily. Published videos and shorts, which we got now. Total views for just the program, though. Because what we're getting right now is across the whole channel, using all videos and all subscribers. That's what this is. What I need to do, so what's unique about this is I need to limit it to just the new style videos that we started doing since April 8th for the Sneak channel. Because otherwise, if we go with just this is for all videos and all subs across the channel, including other videos that are outside of our program. Because what I'm doing here is I want to see specifically like how are the total views and subscribers trending thanks to the new videos versus what the overall channel is. Because we, on the Sneak channel, just getting into the weeds of things here for folks to understand a bit better. We do have some videos. Let's go by like oldest. Like these ones that were kind of, they're like, they got good numbers, they're performing well, and I left them up there. And we unlisted a lot of all the other previous, because we had like 600 total videos that were public, or 600 total videos, majority of them being public. And we went and unlisted like all of them, or made them private, except for these when we started this program. And then from this point, from this video right here, top 3 JWT security practices for your apps on, have all been our new program based videos. And so what I want to do in that section of the report here, what I'm doing is I'm looking at what are the views driven from just those videos? What are the subs driven just from those videos versus all of them? And the way I do that is YouTube Analytics has a way of, can I show you? I go to Analytics, go to Advanced Mode. Yeah, I'm going to show you this real quick. This is on my channel. So if you go to Analytics, what I did on the Sneak channel is I went in here, and it has this concept called groups. This is only on the Analytics API. And I created a group, and I put videos like this that, you know, I do this every week. And then that way I can look at, you know, let's say it's just these 3 videos. I hit save. And then I can say, okay, just filter those videos. You know what I mean? And now I can isolate, okay, these X amount of videos in that group drove 38 views in the last 28 days. No subscribers. My channel's doing great, by the way. Thanks, everybody on YouTube. Hope you're enjoying the content. Appreciate the 38 views, nonetheless, and the 13.4 hours watch time. I love it. Average view duration, 21 minutes. Muy interesante. But you get the idea now, right, chat? So that's a unique thing that I need to try and solve in this automation. And I think I need to use the Analytics API and point it to that group. So if we go back to our to-do list here, I don't think we need to do this anymore as next steps. We're gonna do what I said, where we solved that problem by looking at the starting stats and go from there. So what I think we can do in the time frame that I have is we can probably write the logic that compares the current run data versus the initial run and do the math calculations to see if it prints out correctly. And then next stream or off stream, I'll look into the YouTube Analytics. Unless there's another way I can do it where I don't need to set up the group. Look into it. That's something, I'll make note of this. Is there another way I can gather just the analytics for a given set of videos without having to manually update the group analytics group? This maybe by publish date, you can look at that. Maybe filter that. All right, so look into the YouTube Analytics to see how you can get total views and subs given a group of videos and date range. Or data API. All right, let me catch up on chat here. Oh my god, I literally forgot how the real what's up looks like. What? What's up? What's up, Emo Giraffe? That's a fun name. Happy to have you in here. Over on Twitch. Sean on Twitch says, all right, time to run some errands. Have a good one all. You too, Sean. Appreciate your support. Thank you for the 10 stream watch streak over on Twitch. Hope you have a good rest of your Friday and weekend, buddy. Everyone types what's up these days. Oh, yeah, no worries. I knew. It's all good, Emo. I like it either way. All right. We are good to go. Let's see if we can get this logic sorted out. So what I want to do here is if we get the channel stats, video counts, we're returning that. Find all references to... Toggle breadcrumbs. Oh. We're awaiting it here. Previous week. Const initial stats equals await. Load initial stats. I'm going to rename that. We'll call it previous week's stats path. And const initial stats path. Look at you, AI. Starting stats. Pass in initial stats path like that. Get that in here. Initial stats path. And initial stats path. And then we need to implement this. Why doesn't it have like a auto create? Normally it gives me the option to just generate the function outside of this, but let's do it. Actually, we should just say get file. We rename this and just get load. Say load data from file. Load data from file path. I just call the same thing. Why am I going to write a whole new thing? I'm going to say or, and if we'll just have a default value. We'll say views. We'll say 0. Subscribers 0. And what we're going to do in here is change that to fit that. Okay. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to compare. We're going to make it a function. We're going to say const. What is this going to look like? Because it's always the full. This is the full count, not week over week, right? Okay, so we're going to have two sets, basically. Let's look at what the data structure is going to be like. We're going to have... I'll have an array. No. The one where we're comparing over the full duration of the program. That one's going to be... we'll call it like program diff. This one is going to be program differences. Difference. Program change. And it's going to be like subscribe per change equals. Yeah, like that. Actually, we'll just say, we can just do this. Const equals that. Or const equals, we'll say program change equals subscriber change. Just do the math right here, right? Viewer change. Current week. Ooh. Current week. Views. Nice initial views. And then const week change equals. Yep. Look at the AI just doing it for me. Say or 0 for the first run, right? If we start from nothing. And then initial views is going to be 0 as well. think I gotta put that in parentheses, right? And now we can do like in the report. What are we doing in there again? Ads are over. Thanks, May. Greetings from Egypt. Oh, wow. Thanks for tuning in all the way from Egypt. Emo Giraffe. Appreciate that. Very cool to hear. Let's see. Where's generate? Oh, this is kind of doing it. Let's change the previous week's stats to be like something else, like let's say 1,000, 90, 70,000, say 51, and 42. So we should expect. We want to do week over week. So this is for week change, actually. Week over week change, and then we want to do program change. So we just need to add that into the report, actually. So we don't need this stuff. We need to pass in. Hold on, chat. Knocking at the door. All right, chat. Just confirming the plans with the fam. All right. Okay. We need to go back to here, and instead of passing in the current week, we're going to pass in week change and program change. Generate the weekly report, week change, program change. All right. Sorry, I'm thinking my wife was yelling out something to me at the same time before they go. Trying to keep it all together in my brain. Subscriber change. Greater than equal to 0, then plus. Okay, so we're going to go. Let's rename this to week. It's not weekly, is it? Yeah, it'll be weekly. It will be weekly. Weekly subscriber change. And that's going to be week change. What did we name it? Did we name it subscriber change like that? Nah. Did we? We did. I'll just replace that, actually. Replace this to that. That. And that. And then same thing here. So now it's going to be week change, view, change. Is it views change? So if I had TypeScript, this would make it viewer change. This is where TypeScript's beneficial in situations like this. Viewer change. Control D. Do 2 places at once. All right, so we got that. I don't need the shorts change, do I? I just need total. Let's go back to. I need to get the total. Current week. And that returns videos and shorts counts, right? So we're going to go video count, shorts count. And, oh wait, what was that? I didn't mean there. Wrong function. Gonna be video count, shorts count. Go back here. We're gonna get the video count from current week, videos, and shorts. Yep, perfect. Go back in here again. Let's close this so it's out of the way. I guess I need the current week. That would be beneficial. I don't need to report this previous week thing. Cut this out. What did I do? Cut that out. I'm going to say week over. Subscriber change, week over week, week over week. Doing good on time, yep. Say videos count. Shorts count. Video count. We don't need these regular videos change. Get rid of that. We need program change. All right, so this is week over week. Program stats, right? So let's look at that example again. Total channel programs. No. Program total stats. No, because it's not the program. It's just total channel stats is what we're going to put at the bottom. Total channel stats. And that's where we need... I think we need the current... We still need the current data. Current week data. Because the current week is going to give us the total subscribers. And we don't we have that? No, because we just have to change. Maybe we just add this instead of me creating a whole new object to store this. Like that. Maybe I just add this to the current week. I don't know. I'm not going to code it perfectly. Let's put it... I don't need to preemptively optimize just yet. I just need to get it working right now. Stay focused, Brian. Stay focused, buddy. I mean, well, actually, no, this is calculating the program change, meaning when it started, assuming I have that data. matching it to this. Publish videos, publish shorts, views, and subs. Since April 8th. Published videos. Published shorts. And we're taking the total. This is going to be video count. Or shorts count, rather. Video count. I need to look at an example of the actual report. Yeah, we have published video. This stuff is first. Check this out. Then we have video views. New subscribers. So we're going to say program change here. Dot subscriber change. Isn't it subscribers though? Nope, subscriber change. I'm going to rename this to program. Program stats. Make it more understandable. Program stats. Week stats. This is like total program stats. And this is week program stats. Keep that naming convention the same down here. Total program stats, yep. Do F2 to rename it so it's all the places being used. Total program stats. And week program stats. Comment. And I say, let's simplify this and just call it the current week stats. Shoot, I keep doing that. F2, current week stats. F2, which is the shortcut for rename symbol. I'm just trying to be very clear of what I'm using so it doesn't get confusing. You know what I'm saying? When I'm using it in other places. Again, because I'm not leveraging like TypeScript as much here. All right, so now we have current week, right? Current week stats. And say current week stats dot video count. We don't need that in two places. What am I doing here? I need it right here. Almost there. No, this should be total program stats dot views. Okay, I think that's getting somewhere. All right, let's think about when we run this, what should we expect to be the output? Starting, let's focus on the week to week. So let's say previous week stats should go up 100, 1,000, 10, and 5, right? 100, 1,000, 10, and 5. This is subscribers, views, videos, and shorts. Subs, views, videos, shorts. Right, and how are we writing that out? Subscriber change from week to week. This should show, what'd I say? 100 plus 100. The views should show, I don't know, 1,000, right? 1,000. So we should see plus 100, plus 1,000. We're not going to see a difference in the total videos and stuff. All right, let's see. Plus 300. Oh, yeah, that's right. I think that's right. Well, now it updated it to that. That's 300, not 100. Okay, that was correct. So we went, wow, in a week we gained 300 subscribers. You're going to have to run, Build a Builder. Have a good weekend all. All right, you too. Build a Builder. Appreciate you hanging out. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. I'll see you in the next stream. All right, so that's working. Our math is mathing there. So now if we do initial stats, we need to compare. We need to figure that out. But we don't need to figure that out. We already did it. We just need to get that reporting in here. And the way I have that being reported is I look at the initial stat. Oh, I need to capture it like each week. The total number of views. Well, I just put the total number of views there. Whatever it is, it's video views. Let's get this to not be undefined. Fix that. And same for video views. Total new subscribers. That doesn't seem right either. Oh, I guess the initial stats? Is that against initial stats? Yes. We want to do initial stats minus current week total subscribers that are coming found. Current week. For new subscribers, subscriber change. Let's go back to total program stats. It's current week subscribers minus initial stats subscribers, which in that case, yeah, that works. Initial stats, or the initial stats views is 8,000. Why is that coming back as undefined? Current week stats dot views. Where's current week stats? Is it not called views? Yeah, it's called views. Stats we got. Oh, it's view count. A view count tied to views. We return that from here. Current stats views minus initial stats views. Why is that coming back? It's viewer change. Is that why it's undefined? Viewer change. Yep. It's, viewer change. So why I need that is I'm going to calculate the percentage change from week over week, basically. Well, actually, no. I'm taking that back. If I'm doing initial stats, this is me just thinking out loud, chat, so bear with me here. The starting stats, if when we started the program, we had 100 subscribers, and when we get the current number of subscribers right now, that's not accurate, though, because some of the subscribers could come from other videos. You know? I really need YouTube to tell me where the subscribers are coming from. Or, like, how many subscribers are coming from these specific videos versus... So I don't think I can take this strategy of starting stats right now. That's okay. We'll leave it as, like, to do. And then I'll comment this out. I can't comment that out. We'll figure it out though. This is to do. No, that's total channel. What do I do for total channel? Oh, that's fine. Why am I thinking like that? Total channel stats. We got total program stats. Total program stats. That's what it is to do. Sorry. I'm jumping all over the place. Undo that. Undo that. This is all correct. Ah. Total channel stats. We don't need to do viewer change. We just do current week stats dot subscribers and current week stats dot views, right? Yeah. Oh, I got him backwards. This is views, subscribers, but that works. Why is the current week stats coming back? Video count undefined. Where's my to do anyway? Oh, I didn't add any, right? Total program stats to do. But why isn't that coming back? What's going on? Current week stats should have a video count, right? Does it not? Just videos and shorts. That's why it's named differently. Dang it. Videos. Shorts. Alright, so that should work now. Yay. Okay. So that's starting to look like my report. Starting to look good. Starting to look good. The next thing I would want to do, let's go back in here. We do want to look at that. Need to calculate percentage change week over week. And display in the following format. It's going to be like video views, say like 10,000, and that is
milliseconds on Twitch. There's an ad running for 90.
Let's say it's plus, I don't know, 5.1%, whatever, like that. There we go. There we go, chat. All right, I gotta start wrapping up. Alright, yo. Any case, so again, AI helping solve the problem? I think so. I think it is. Especially now that we know what APIs to use and we have solutions here. I still need to leverage. Next week, what we're going to do is we're going to leverage the AI to see if it can, with its knowledge of the YouTube API, see if it can actually help us in querying the API for a specific set of videos that were published within the date range or that are part of a group. And I wrote that down in my notes for next steps. In fact, I'm going to put that in a separate document though. Add a new results from stream. Oops, I didn't mean to do it like that. Results. Paste that in. I have my next steps so that we know for next stream what to do and go from there. Alrighty-o. Chatty-o. For folks that are watching on YouTube and LinkedIn, the stream's just going to end here. If you're on Twitch, we're going to go raid somebody real quick. because I got to get going. I got to go pick up the kiddo, take them to their activities, after school activities and stuff like that. So hope you enjoyed the stream. I hope you had some fun. Again, my name is Clark. I go by Clark Yo. This is the Clark Yo Shenanigan Show. Every Friday, we do chatting for a little bit and talk about wins of the week. We play a little bit of Wordle and words on stream while I'm eating lunch. And then we get into the technical segment of the show, which we'll be continuing to do, where we're working on generating this report based on YouTube stats. So if that interests you, you want to see and follow along with where we end up in the project, be sure to like, subscribe to the channel. Like the video here and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, LinkedIn, you're already watching this, you're already following my account there. So that's cool. I appreciate you. Look out for a post on it next week. And if you're on Twitch and you have made it this far, be sure to drop a follow on the channel so that you can tune in and be alerted when new streams come up. But in case you forget to do any of that, if you'd like to just remember, I'm every Friday, 12:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's it, plain and simple, okay? Right here, wherever you like to watch your streams, I'll be there, okay? I hope you all have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. Thank you for the support. I appreciate everybody that was tuning in, that chatted with me, that liked, subscribed, followed, all that type of stuff. I appreciate all that kind of support. And yeah, have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. I'll see you next week, which will be September? No, August 30th. We're almost at September. That's crazy. Yeah, no worries, Frackberg. I appreciate that nonetheless, man. Thank you so much. All right. Have a good rest of your Friday and weekend. As I said before, I'll see you next time. Peace out.